in the studio with another live session. I'm Jace, off moderation duties, but this time we're in the camera. I've been transported by the TARDIS. He's here.
Basically, I've got to get cracked on with that, so I haven't got time to answer your questions. So Jace is going to read them to me. Yeah, now, we're working on the board. Show him the board, Jace.
Let's have a little snap of the board.
Come on, Techie. There we go. Here's the board. We're working on it now. We've had a few problems. Yeah, not so much with the board itself, but with the actual location. We've had a power cut today. I've only just managed to get back in on the board. And I'm having to recess all of these. Yeah, all of the... Let me see. Where can you see? You can see these here. Yeah, I'm having to recess all these. Okay? Because they looked a bit naff sitting on top. So, giving myself more work. So, I'm going to get cracked on with this. Jace is going to relay your comments and all that sort of stuff. And we should have a cracking time. Right, switch to the main camera. Jace, you might as well put your smiley face on it. And Mel's going to get ready to sweat.
Just be thankful you guys weren't here when I got here, because I came into a half-naked man.
There's no promises that Mel won't be half-naked by the end of this show. Yeah, because Mel is already sweating.
It is warm.
It's ridiculously warm in here. On the plus side, my PVA is drying lovely.
That's because you're dipping your...
Calm down, young man.
He's dipping his hot wire.
Yeah, I'm playing with... Do you know what? Hottest day so far, in the hottest studio in the studios, and I'm doing hot wire work. Smart, eh? Right, let's rip that out and put that in there. Oh. So how many we got watching, Jace? What does it look like? You don't even know. You can't tell from that, can you?
No, you can't see from this one now.
Oh, no. Someone will tell us.
Someone will tell us. Come on, stick a number up, someone. The dog, Jez, she's doing a lot better. Went to the vets today. Not had her stitches out today, but they're really pleased with her progress. They're not hurting her little stitches. All the bandages have come off. She gets her stitches out on Saturday. But still the long recovery process, 3 to 6 months, but she's doing really well, man. Mischief as usual, climbing up and down the stairs when she's not supposed to.
Has she got a cone of shame?
She has got a cone of shame. Poor dog. Keep banging into my
I always feel sorry for dogs when they've got the cone of shame on. Because they've got no idea how to actually handle wearing the cone of shame. They never figure it out.
No, just bang it into everything.
Yeah.
My legs are covered in scratches and scrapes at the back, where she just follows me when we're going out for a walk. And just bangs into me all the time. Daft. 53.
58. Good start, since we've just started.
Yeah, 3 minutes in, 53. I hope people are hitting the like button. Oh, I can't do my my little posting of... Come on, pay Mel some money.
You can't. You just have to post as me.
No, I've got it all saved in a Word.
Oh, you've got it all saved in a Word. See,
that's why it comes on the screen really quick.
He's really practical, isn't he?
I'll just have to tell you instead. Shall we see what he's doing?
Sweating. I'm sweating.
He's digging holes into blue foam, everyone's favourite fantasy.
Yeah. Basically, I just didn't like the way they were sitting on top. I glued them down directly onto the foam and just sort of pressed them in a little first. And then when I was looking at the photos, you know when you have that moment where it looks fine while you're doing it, and then afterwards you go home, you look at the photos and you're like, that's really poor. You know, you don't like it. And it was literally that situation. I got home last night, I looked at it, it's like, no, that's not what I envisaged for this board. And so, I came in this morning, yeah, hoping to get stuck in and, you know, put a solid 14 hours into the build and break the back of it. And there's a bloody power cut. Always the way. Now, I've got to make sure I put Paris, well, it's not Parisian. Yeah, the right way round. Because the last thing I need to do is when I come to the painting stage, realise I've put a name tag in the wrong way round. Which would be a very Mel thing to do, to be truthful. Any questions over yet? Oh yeah, just so you know, guys, yeah, this is the Fabled Realms board. If you don't know what we're doing, we're building it for the guys over at Foreground because they've got their Fabled Realms Kickstarter running at the minute. In fact, you'll probably see Adam from Foreground jumping in the chat at some point, mate, because he did say he would come along.
Jez says not enough 50p's for the meter man.
No, it was a proper surge. What do you call it? At the minute, we're not actually running on power. We're running on a generator. Western Power have bought like a generator truck, and it's parked up in one of the one of the buildings, and that's what power we're running on. Because they reckon it's going to take them a couple of days to get the actual switch repaired. Big bada boom.
Luckily, it didn't affect me at home.
No,
It's a bit further away.
It's actually only affected the Spode site.
Oh, right.
Which is a bit of a git. But there's nothing we can do about it.
The station's what? Quarter of a mile? Half a mile?
Yeah, it's only across the way.
The A500, isn't it?
Well, I think the substation it uses is here, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so when the surge, it's blowing the one that's in here. But I went to see the guys from Western Power earlier. I said, well, what are the chances of us getting the power on? And one of them just laughed, which is always a good sign.
It's like a mechanic when you ask him what's wrong with your car.
Oh God! So, yeah. Well, in fact, it wasn't that. Yeah, they got the supervisor there. Yeah, and he didn't laugh. He was being quite He was being quite sensible of right. We're doing this, and then we're doing this, and then we're going to do this. But the two guys standing next to him just started laughing. Which, he was trying to do his level best to be professional about the whole thing. And these two guys were just giggling. So I took that as a sign of, yeah, we're not going to be seeing power anytime soon. I'm really glad we did get the power sorted, though, because obviously last week we had to cancel because of technical problems. And it would have broken my heart to have to cancel again this week. Never mind me being behind with the build.
Rick G asks, how much power does the wire cutter draw? Enough to take out the transformers, basically.
Don't blame me for that. That was not my fault. That was done late last night. And it's something to do with the train station, but I don't know what.
Hi, Raphael. Everyone's a fan of Mel's work, the terrain tutor. Thank you very much. Raphael says, hi, I'm Raphael. I live in Brazil. I'm very much a fan of your work.
Awesome, Raph. Welcome to board, matey. And thank you for the compliment. Right, done those. I haven't done those. Get into the big stuff now.
Ant reckons that I should post as you that you'll do.
Oh, you calm down.
£1.50.
Oh, calm down. We're not having that. It's quite worrying giving him the power. God knows what he's going to commit.
If I do that, I'll have to do it myself, won't I? So
yes, you would.
Exactly. So it ain't going to happen.
Oh, you chicken.
If I was at home.
Oh, if you were. See, Jace only does drag at home in the privacy of his own home.
Exactly. Not even on a weekend, in the weekdays.
Oh, you cheeky chappy, you.
I mean, tonight I've been in a nice camisole sitting there in this heat.
Instead, you come here to sweat with me. In
Mel's sweatshop.
At least you're sitting down.
What people don't realise is that isn't a clamp just under Mel's hand there. That's actually some poor Filipino boys under the table. And they're all there with hooks trying to hold the table down. So that's what he's using to try and get rid of his warpage.
Small Filipino children.
Yeah.
How much can you get a small Filipino child for nowadays?
I don't know. I bet Jez knows. I bet Westside knows.
Don't.
He's not on there. Although obviously the best person to go to would be Tim.
Well, Tim could fix anything.
He's your fix-it man, isn't he? He's your fetcher. Hi, Gregory. How are you? Hi, Chris. How could you forget about it?
What's he forgot about?
Wow, almost forgot about this. How dare you? It's one thing when YouTube tells you that the show's been cancelled, but then you luckily enough go on YouTube and see it wasn't cancelled. That was the notification from Thursday. It's just posted on Sunday.
That's YouTube for you.
That's YouTube for me. As of late, can't trust it. Shh! Don't tell them.
No, don't tell YouTube. They get upset if you criticise them. No, I need to make that bigger. It's like the TARDIS. Whenever I'm making these holes and I'm cutting round, yeah, I'm marking round where I need to make them, so I know exactly the right size of the hole. Now when I'm coming to actually put the bit in, it's too small. Makes no bloody sense. He's typing. I don't know what he's up to. He could be putting any promise in there. Right, now I've got the big tags to do. Uh-oh.
Yes, welcome to Mel's sweaty house of boys.
Sweaty house of boys.
Sounds like an 80s spin-off from Porky's, doesn't it?
Oh God. Don't. Just don't. Porky's was bad enough. We don't need a Mel version.
More Melkies.
Melkies. Great on that one.
Chris is having a go at you because you're saying either the bit's too small or the hole's too small, and it does make a difference.
It always makes a difference. It doesn't matter what they say, it does. Luckily, I have the right tools to make the hole bigger.
Well, hey, I should have bought a drum kit.
Yeah, Mel's a live show with that added sound effect.
You have to find a sound effect for that.
We used to have sound effects on the Google one, yeah, but they got rid of them, unfortunately.
It's because it would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have.
Fun.
Right, that one goes there. We need to do that one and that one and that one, and then we are caught up. Yeah, then we can crack on. Which means sanding, which means
yay.
I'm going to get sweaty. I'm going to get very obscenely sweaty. Alright, right now, all I'm doing right now is on these big tags, I'm just marking out.
Just tilt, yeah.
Just marking out where I'm going to be actually doing, where I need to sort of engrave my holes to recess these in. I've already done all the small ones, they were the quicker jobs. Yeah, but I left the larger ones till the end. Now this one may be a bit difficult because I don't know if it's going to recess into there that well, but we'll give it a go.
Evening, Paul.
And pop that one out, and then what have we got? Is it just, no, that's it, that's all of them that I'll need to do. I have to cut it out with my blade. I'll tell you what, this PVA is bloody good stuff.
Is that your Baker Ross?
Yeah.
Quality PVA.
I need to order some more, to be truthful. I'm going through it like you wouldn't believe. So once we've got these done, the next job will be to actually continue shaping the land. I had hoped that we'd be casting mountains today and finishing off the mountain ranges, but we've been buggered by that, by the power cut, which also means that my hope of having this finished by end of play Friday is also buggered up.
You just give them a close-up on that name tag you've just taken off.
What, this one?
Yeah, somebody who wants to see.
Trogfells.
Rovers. There you go. Nice little MDF.
Like, I got a load of them, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Obviously name tags and stuff like that with a map project is quite difficult. Now, obviously I'm doing it for foreground. So in there, where's the camera at there? Come on, Bosicle. Get it together. They've done me an absolute load of name tags and things just to put in. Now, we were only supposed to be doing the major locations and naming those. Yeah, but Adam, the little sod, sent a sheet of all the smaller locations as well. And he was like, well, you've got them now. I was like, you git. And I was like, well, I've got them now, I might as well, hadn't
I? White House Films
Yes?
is asking, what about the warpage on the board? Has it been improved?
Oh, it's all sorted now. It's
Yeah,
absolutely...
I'll tell you, if we switch cameras, you'll see my ugly mug again. But you should be able to see from there.
Yeah. White maple on it. Yeah, clamped down, left a glue. We screwed it, we countersunk the screws. I've done a proper job. A proper job. Yeah, but I've got no concerns over the warping now whatsoever, so that's been resolved. Yeah, I am debating whether to do a resin pour or a thick varnish layer, because my coastlines are getting quite low now. And I think if I do a resin pour, I might lose some of the...
Yeah, you might lose something, it might get swallowed up by the sea.
Yeah. You know, oceans rising and all that, changing the map.
What do you guys reckon? I go with Mal, probably go with the varnish, but...
That's fine. Tell you what I'll do. Swap that one out. Swap that tool out. I'll tell you what I have got, which is beautiful. Yeah. These pieces of white maple.
Oh wow, look at that.
Look at that knot.
Gnarly.
Yeah. I'm thinking put some resin into it and make it as a miniature plinth.
See that, guys? How cool is that?
Now, white maple in the UK you can't actually get anymore. It's been a listed tree for the past 15 years.
But Mal knows someone.
Mal found out that the guy who works at the woodyard is a terrainiac.
Hey! They're everywhere.
Yeah, no, seriously, he turned around and he says, is this for the Fabled Realms board? Yeah, and I'm like, hey? He says, I've got something for you, give me a minute. Disappears into a shed, comes back, he's had this bit of wood in there for 20 years. Yeah, and he, what you call it, and he's like, it's white maple. You can't get white maple in the UK anymore because if the tree falls, they've either got to replant it or it's got to go to an English heritage reclamation yard to be used on listed projects. It can't be bought commercially in the UK. But he'd had this piece from 20 years ago when he could, so he planed it all down. Yeah.
It is very nice, guys, to see it in person. I mean, you get an idea from the webcam.
It's beautiful. It's not just that.
It's,
the strength of the wood is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It looks so smooth.
The strength of the wood is...
I'm stroking Mal's wood, guys.
Really? You really went
I
there?
had to go.
But no, what you call it? The actual strength of white maple is ridiculous. Yeah. I had an 8-foot length and I held it at one end and it wouldn't even bow under its own length. Now, if you're wondering what I'm up to at the minute, I am shaping my hot wire router, yeah, into roughly a tag shape, because it's going to be easier to engrave the tags with that, yeah, that little bit there, than it is with my little engraver. Well, that's the idea anyway.
Most people are liking the varnish idea.
Yeah, I think even if we go for something like Envirotex, which is a resin, what you call it, resin that I'd normally pour, you can brush it on.
Yeah.
And a single coat of that is equivalent to 50 coats of varnish. So one coat of it should be...
Should be enough.
Yeah.
You don't need a DD, you just need the effect.
Exactly. Pinch pliers. So fingers crossed, the water side will be relatively simple. Although saying that, getting it into all these nooks and crannies, that's not going to be fun. There we go.
Where's your mug?
My mug? My mug's there.
Had a request for the mug. There it is.
Who the hell's asking to see my mug?
Gaz.
Oh, right. Hey, I'm Gaza. Let's get hot.
Or am I Mal's mug? Who knows?
What's that?
Oh, you've gone so bright. It's not the shine off your head either.
Oh, it's the... There you are. It's auto settings. You can't manually set them, unfortunately.
It's heat. It's an infrared camera.
Oh, Rudy sent, what do you call it, a couple of nuggets.
Oh, he's in, is he?
Yeah, here we go. It's all started. Jason's now got to figure out how to do the, what you call it. Go on, Jace, don't break it.
Question is remembering how we spell his name. Ruaridh.
Call him Rudy. That's what we call him.
Okay,
He knows what it is.
Rudy H. It says H, isn't it?
Just let me check. I've got rid of the watch notification now. No, that's my calendar. Don't need that. Fuck her off. Mel is not good with technology, which is really quite ironic considering, you know, I'm a YouTuber.
As you're an internet presence and entertainment and content provider.
Really? Is that what I am?
Yeah, apparently.
Is that what people call me?
Well,
No, calm down.
I'm not going to say that.
No, it's Rudy M, mate.
Rudy M.
Yeah.
Like a H.
Thank you, Rudy.
Good lad. There we go, people. That's how it's done.
A little bit.
And that reminds me, because I can't post it, so I could, but I can't be bothered to type it. So I might as well just say it. If you like what Mel does and you want to keep him doing it and keep creating all this fantastic content for you guys, then Patreon, fantastic way to support Mel. You can donate $1 a month, up to whatever you feel like. It's a bit of a intimidating process when you look at the screen, but it's very straightforward once you go past the first screen to sign up Patreon. You can limit to how much you want to contribute a month. So if you say $1 a video, but then you limit to $1, even if Mel creates 20 videos, even if Mel creates more than one video, you won't pay more than $1.
Yeah, you can cap it at whatever you want.
You can put that cap on. If you chuck in $25 a month, then you get a whole hour of Mel time.
If you want it.
If you want it.
If you can take it.
And if it's hot like it is, you might even get him with his shirt off.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're getting that. We're getting close, dude.
If you're not into Patreon or don't want to have that, it's PayPal. The address is down below, but it's terraintutor@gmail.com. Anything you want to chuck Mel's way helps. The guy's doing it pretty much full time now. Lost his job not long after Christmas. He's trying to support his family. His wife's a Dawson student.
Oh, Pez is going to kill you. I'd like it known that my wife got a first, and won Grad X, and has now decided to pursue a career in academia.
She got the top certificate.
Yeah, she did really well.
Fantastic job she did. We're all very proud of her, even if she is a Dawson student. But yeah, anything you send Mel's way helps not only support this channel going with all the content and all the materials you see in the studio, but it also puts food on his kids' table. Yeah,
it does. Now, right now, Patreon and you PayPalers and the Google ads pretty much employ me, 3 days a week and cover the sort of the studio costs. I'm filling that time, the extra time, via via doing commissions. Now, fingers crossed, once this one is done, I'll have to find another commission to fill those 2 days. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start heading off to, go look for some warehouse work, which is going to be difficult to find 2 days of warehouse work. Now, let me bring the camera down so I can actually show you what I'm doing here. Right, I need to make sure we get this exposure. Whoa, look at that. Let me readjust, guys. I think if I bring it down to there, it might be a bit better.
Do you need your hat on? That'll stop the glare.
Oh, you shut up, you. There you are. Oh, come on. Don't be a git.
That was Mel's hand, by the way.
Calm down, you.
Paul says you'd be busy building the castle. It
doesn't like that exposure, does it? Right, we're just going to have to wing it on this bit, guys. You can still follow along. Right, we've got Alavantum Fells here now I've glued down. So the first thing I need to do is I need to take it back up. Now, I've used my Baker Ross, which means it is, ooh, careful fingers. It's glued down good and proper.
The odds are open for Mel cutting himself if you want to take bets.
Oh, you calm down, you. On the plus side, if I do cut myself, Jace can drive, and I'm only just a short distance away from A&E. Right, so we've removed that. Next job.
We've got plenty of super glue anyway.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Next thing, my hot wire cutter. Yeah. And this is where Mel is going to get pretty wide-eyed. All I'm doing is just engraving this down. Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to cut out a trough that we can fit in. It doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, because as long as we can get the piece in there and sitting comfortably, any gaps around the edge we can sort out when we come to texturing. Yeah, so I just need to take the bulk of it out, which is just this little bit here. Yeah, and there we have a trough. And all the next job is Trog Fells. Needs to, I've got to put this down somewhere where it's not going to, okay. What was there? Oh, bugger! I put the wrong one in the wrong one.
Yay.
Right. That's the Alabantum Fells. Trogvast is this one. So that needs to come out of there. Get out. Yeah. I'm glad you were there then.
Good start.
This is it. Right, this is Trogfells. Look at the map, Bosicle. Look at the bloody map. That could have been quite embarrassing, guys. That could have been really quite embarrassing. Kind of given its foreground, and I've got two of the major locations mixed up.
They just have to change their maps, don't they?
So, doing it properly, you make sure that you've got the right tag. Yeah, dropping my PVA. I don't need much because, like I say, I know this is going to have fill around the edges, so that'll help it bind. Yeah, we drop that into that little gap there. And just press that down a bit so it doesn't rise up or rise above the tag. That's one of the benefits of using blue foam. You can compress it, yeah, and shape it a little. The irony is that the majority of the work on this board has actually been done with my thumbs, which is probably why I can't actually feel my thumb at the moment. I've got no feeling in it whatsoever. So that's essentially what I'm doing. Now I've only got to do one more there and one more there and make sure I pick the right ones. Yeah, Trogvast. And I'll have caught up and corrected my mistakes, and it's time for me to watch it start moving forward and sanding.
Rudy's asked you a question for commission work. Have you spoken to Frostgrave Joe about what I messaged you about yet?
I haven't as yet, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Right now, my concentration is just simply getting this board done. Yeah, I really need to sort of play catch up on that sort of stuff. But I do need to have a word with Frostgrave Joe.
Hiya, Diggy. Can you heat a hot dog on that wire cutter too?
I wouldn't say you could heat it, but you could cut it in half.
You could do those nice little lines on it as though it's been on a griddle.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice. But it'd probably be raw. Although, if you left it in the studio for probably 5 or 10 minutes, it'd be cooked anyway.
It's actually cooling down a bit now.
It is slightly starting to cool down.
Well, I'm noticing my desire to take my shirt off is reducing. You've never seen...
Does that mean people should be saying thank you? They're just a bit slow on the uptakes to shop.
They ain't seen me bare. Do you know, I've been having to edit my videos. If you notice some of the videos on this are slightly like lower resolution, it's because I've had to zoom in to avoid the nakedness of Mel. It's not a pretty picture. I can understand why Kez prefers it with the lights off.
What, everywhere? But yeah, Mel's, when he does his videos at home, the live show on Sunday, that's a nightlife on the laptop.
It's a shocking sight, it really is. Right, let's throw this one in here. I was seriously tempted of pulling an all-nighter tonight. I know you can't, but yeah, but I'm just really annoyed, to be perfectly honest, that I've lost this day due to the power cut. Really annoyed.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Well, the thing is,
when it's inconvenient.
The thing is, I planned with the board to have it completed, ready for painting, for End of Play Friday. So the plan is on Saturday I'm bringing out the next update. And what I wanted is for that update to have the board complete. So the next update would be the resin pouring and the painting, sorry, you know what I mean, and all that sort of stuff. But it's thrown me back a day. So do I work as far as I can until sort of Friday night, then do the editing, get my video up on Saturday? Or with the kids going away with my mum, do I say, sod it, work the Saturday, edit Saturday night,
Yeah,
and
get as many hours in while you've got the chance.
Do you know what I mean?
Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Because it's better to get the hours in before
the kids come back and I have to be dad again. Not that I don't. I enjoy being dad, but you know, when you've got commissions and you've got deadlines, making use of the time that you've got. He's back again, hovering over my shoulder. It's quite scary, you know. He's a big, hairy man standing behind me as I'm bent over my table.
he's bent over his wood.
You calm down, you.
Don't think we're going to get that very well.
No, I don't think we are. I think
hang on. Technology on its go. I work in IT. I know how to do this.
There you are. Jason's going to break it.
Yeah.
Jason's going to break it.
If it won't switch off back off and on again, then just chuck it in the bin.
Right, there we are. That's that truck. A little bit there. So if we've got any questions, just fire them across. Because I can natter for all day.
Yeah, there was one. Let's see. I am Martin the Warrior.
Martin the Warrior. Right, that's Green Sea Inlets.
Oh yeah, William makes a good point that if we've got issues with glare off the top of your head now, what would the issues with glare be like if you take your shirt off? He's a Welsh dragon guy as well. William Gorman. Gorman! Marines, we are leaving.
Alright, let's press that down.
Gaz is asking what's the timeline for the board?
Right, timeline for the board, right, it's got to be all done and ready for the end of this month. Okay, now that's easily doable. Yeah, the reason it has to be all ready for the end of this month is because Adam from Foreground is coming to pick it up. Yeah, so they can ship it over to Gen Con, where it'll be revealed at Gen Con. Yeah, so that's the very last deadline, but it's my intention to have it finished quite a bit sooner than that. Yeah, timeline-wise, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the board completed by the end of play this week, and we're looking probably Saturday night now, to be truthful. Yeah, and then next week dedicate the week to painting, and then the week after will be simple finishing. The reason why I need a week for finishing is because that's the varnishing and the resin stages, and in those stages I need time between coats. Yeah, so it's not so much work, it's more come in, spend an hour varnishing it, yeah, then potter around the studio doing something else, you know, for a day. Next day, come in, varnish it, yeah, potter around the studio for a day, and then do the resin pour. I've got to matte varnish it first, yeah, because I'm going to use spray varnish to do it, but I can't use spray varnish on top of a gloss because it'll matte it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got to matte varnish first, and then when it's all matte varnished, then go in with the resin, and then after that.
In this heat, if you put matte varnish on gloss varnish, there's a good chance of the whiting.
Yeah.
In this heat, definitely.
See, he's a bundle of joy, isn't he? I hadn't even been thinking about this heat and that sort of stuff with me varnish, and he just brings in another factor.
Commission painting, you see.
Ah, yeah, true.
All the fun mistakes.
That's the thing about commissions. You learn so much.
Yeah, 97 hours into a 100-hour project, and then you spray, and it's too hot, and you don't realise you come to it next morning and everything's white.
Yeah. Right, we are hot tooled out. We have done all of that. So I need to now figure out what next. Sandpaper. Right. I did.
Cat Fracasso. We answered this question a bit earlier, but we'll do it again. Asks a question, Mal, what kind of resin will you be using? Right,
I'm thinking polyester resin. So I'm probably going to go with something like Envirotex. Yeah, Envirotex Light. It's a good resin. Yeah, it's a 50-50 mix. It cures within. You've got about 3-4 hours playtime with it. Yeah, to sort of get it in, get it where you want it before it starts getting tacky, and you know any playing around will leave marks. So I've got about 3-4 hour playtime with it. It'll cure overnight, and then I will have a glass finish for the morning. Yeah, and then fingers crossed, we're good to go. That's the plan.
Well,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Is that it's
Yes,
a bit more expensive, but it's well worth it because the results are so consistent with it.
Yeah, there's often a thing with with terrain making, yeah, with expense, and a lot of people tend to go cheap is better.
Yeah.
And in truthful, yeah, the way I look at it is, well, let's be honest, a decent army is going to cost you a couple of £100 nowadays. You know, it doesn't matter what game you play.
And the rest.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Getting into this hobby, it's an investment in cash.
It's an investment in time and cash.
Yeah,
definitely.
and for me, it's like when I look at the terrain, yeah, cheap is good, and it enables, but at the same time, if you're going to put the effort in of doing 80 hours into a terrain build, yeah, on a table you're going to play on for the next 2-3 years, do you really want to be saving a couple of quid here and for the sake of a couple of quid?
Yeah.
You know, given the difference between this will do, or you could do it with this, or there's this professional product. From my point of view, yeah, I like the idea from the yeah, it's a couple of quid more, but I know consistent results. I know it's going to turn out. I know it's going to work.
Well, cheap and frugal is great for most of your at-home general stuff on your table. I mean, we all do the same. We all do as cheap as you can do, but in certain circumstances, like Mel says, it's worth spending the extra money if you want a board that's going to last you a long time to stay consistently nice.
It's not just that.
I mean, you can use some resins for doing different things. Like look at APVS's video on the Poundland resin that he puts in that little.
That's the super glue, isn't it?
It's basically an epoxy 2-part resin.
Right. Okay.
What's his name? The guy from Ground Force, the builder bloke, Billy, is it?
Yeah.
It's one of his product lines.
All right. Okay.
And he puts that in the base of a cheap fountain he got from somewhere like Home Bargains or something, and it looks really effective in that. But then I wouldn't want to be using that as a river or as a sea because it just hasn't got the quality.
It's not. I mean,
it's basically that, and it just hasn't got the quality that you want long term.
The other thing to remember, yeah, is terrain is time, and quite often when you use cheaper products, okay, when they go wrong, your time increases, and actually, the money you save by buying the cheaper product, you've lost in time. Which is why when I do commissions, I go for proper products. Yeah, because I've always found that if I've gone for the cheaper route, yeah, fixing it has always cost me more than buying the proper one that I wouldn't have needed.
It's confidence in the product as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
If you get a decent product, you pay the money, you know what the result is you're going to get from it. You know it's going to save you time in the long run because anything else might cost you time.
Exactly.
So, and there's nothing more precious than your own time because, okay, you might say, oh, it's going to work for, as most people even know, if you commission paint or if you terrain make, most of the time you're not even getting minimum wage.
No.
But that's not the point because at least you're getting paid for doing something that you love.
Well, I won't.
However, there's a limit to how much time you spend doing that.
Yeah, there's got to be a cap.
Well, it has an impact on everything else, doesn't it?
Well, I mean,
your kids, your wife, everything else. And in your case, the impact could be the channel, like with the zombie board, which is board, did a fabulous job with that.
But it affected the channel.
But it affected the channel because it was a secret project, I feel like. It was a...
I ain't doing any more of them.
LCD, as it were, or a non-disclosure agreement. So,
definitely ain't doing any more of them.
No, I don't. I think I've said it on the channel before, or certainly Mel said it, that the difference in Mel from when he was doing that board to when he finished it. That night that we cracked on a couple of nights in a row just to get everything done, the look on Mel's face when it was finished was like a massive weight lifted from him. He'd just been to the doctors and the doctor said, you haven't got cancer or something like that. It sounds ridiculous, sounds over dramatic, but you should have seen.
Well, I was getting depressed, wasn't I? About not. What? Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, what you call it? I was getting depressed.
You see, almost he was hunched over a bit. His face was stressed. His eyes were wild, almost. It was like
wild. Oh, what are you packing me up?
He was like a drug. And but when it was finished that Tuesday night, he stood up straight and proud until some of the guys from the studios came and looked at, and they were like, the graffiti artist he's told you a little story about they like tweeting me out.
Sorry about this, guys.
But yeah, so I can't imagine that Mal will ever get a secret project again.
No, not a chance in hell. I think that's why this one's actually been quite enjoyable, because it has been on the channel. You know what I mean? I am going to start with projects. I'm going to start doing them in such a way that the updates come on a Saturday. Yeah, because if I do the updates on a Saturday, it gives me the whole week to actually work on something, and then sort of edit sort of Friday night. But the midweek thing just isn't working, to be truthful. It's getting in the way of me actually doing the project, because I'm having to put video editing time in when I should be doing, what do you call it, things like...
Well, this is what your channel's about tonight. This is the perfect chance for you to work on this board live, and people can see it, and it's there, and you doing about it, talking about it. We get to answer people's questions right there and then.
Yeah, this is what the channel's about, isn't it?
That's the way. That's the future, people. Accessibility.
Accessibility. I like that. That sounds all professional, that does. Doesn't sound anything like we'd normally do. Now, if you're wondering, right now, all I'm doing is I'm just shaping the land masses.
Martin the Warrior.
Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi at the studio went down, and there was just bugger all we could do about it. You know, and unfortunately, that's one of the situations I am sort of kind of stuck. You know, when I'm relying on other people, a bit like today, and the power went down. But all in all, you know, it's not a major problem. Yeah, I mean, the Wi-Fi's only gone down a couple of times in a year, so I can't really complain. Especially considering it's the Wi-Fi is in with the rent, so to speak.
Joseph Cooper, evening. Your vids help me out a lot. Cheers.
Glad they do, buddy. Glad they do.
Rudy's asking, are you making the frame or just a map? Thinking you could...
Made the frame.
You could frost the glass slightly or use... I don't think it's going under glass, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
It's going to be a 3D...
I don't think it'll fit under glass unless they extend the frame. But
well, you've got to be very careful with that because the glass slips when they're doing it.
Yeah, all sorts of problems along those lines.
Yeah, it's just going to stay as the frame as it is, I think.
Oh, I'm so gentle. Right. I think that is the grassy fells done.
Jerry Reiner just logged in, says the map looks wonderful.
Thank you, Jerry. Let's get this bit done, and then we can, if I do all of this bit, then I can insert all the name locations in there, and then we can move on to this, 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 and then mountains. If I can get everything ready for the mountains tomorrow, I'll be happy. I mean, like I say, I am debating whether I should just say sod it, ring Kez up and say I'll see you end of play Friday and just stay in the studio until...
Sleepy.
I've done it before.
Well, you could get the little Filipino boys to go and fetch you.
Calm down.
Use them as a mattress. Yeah, Chris. More important, no dislikes on this video so far.
Oh,
unlike Sunday night's video, where somebody decides to try and undo all my good work. Yeah.
You're not going to forgive me for that, are you?
My head was shaking in my hands for several minutes.
Jace has these great plans to help me, and then I go and screw them up.
Would you do another one of these if you were asked to, Mal?
Another map?
Yeah,
I would.
He's really enjoyed this one, guys. Probably more than anything else he's done, I would say.
I have. I mean, there's been a lot of problems, you know, and they haven't phased me in the slightest, guys. Genuinely, they haven't phased me. I've loved it. I love maps, though. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely do love maps. And so, yeah, I would do another map project. It would have to be a decent amount, because Foreground are getting this quite cheap, because I essentially begged them to do it. Yeah, they didn't commission me. Yeah, they launched a map, and they'd actually already commissioned me to do a Russian village for Salute. And I told them I wasn't doing the Russian village, I wanted to build the map. So I said I'll just do it at the same price. So money-wise, I'm not saying I'm losing, but I'm not making a great amount off doing this map. If I was to do another map, then what I'd like to do is say, right, proper commission rates, so I've got a lot more time, and that money factor is not in there. You know what I mean? Hoovering!
There we go, guys. You get to see domestic now at work as well. Hi, Denzel. Yeah, just as Tamsin says, it's a 3D map of 4 grand's world, the Fabled Rams. They've got a Kickstarter coming out at the end of the month.
No, it's out now.
Oh, it's out now?
Yeah, it's running live.
It's out now. It's a tabletop version of the role-playing game. So, yeah, looks pretty cool.
Put the rivers in. Or re-put the rivers in from where I sanded them off. Typical Mel.
Yeah, Cat, don't think that we are knocking cheap stuff.
No, we're not knocking cheap stuff.
90% of the terrain I've got at home is made from tin cans, toilet rolls.
No, please.
Whatever you can get. It's turned that part of the hobby is very different to what Mel's doing at the moment, because that's the challenge of making something that everybody would recognise into something that no one recognises on your table.
The thing is, the cheap stuff.
Cool.
The cheap stuff enables terrain making. It gets terrain on your table, which is good. All I'm saying is, when the pressure is on, when it comes to building, your feature table and you're going all out, yeah, if it's a matter of a couple of quid between products and one product is far superior than the other, get the superior one. You know what I mean? If the build you're working on means that much to you, then invest in it.
Well, it's the same principle if you're buying stuff off eBay. If you're buying it off eBay or you go on one of these like AliExpress, you pay cheaper on AliExpress than you do on eBay, but it's going to take you 3 months to come from AliExpress. It's going to take you 3 days from eBay.
Westy was telling me he's found 5,000 bolt action tanks for 250 euros on Ali.
Wouldn't surprise
5,000!
Wouldn't surprise me. You can find all sorts on AliExpress.
I think we've found who makes Rubicon's tanks.
Yeah, possibly.
Alright, all I'm doing very quickly right now is obviously I've sanded down and I just need to reinsert my various river valleys. Yeah, because otherwise I'll lose them. And I need to sort of engrave them because I'm going to put varnish into them. So I need them definitively down. Next job is wreck the thumbs. And basically all I'm doing here is I'm just undulating the terrain with my thumbs, which is one of the reasons why I can't bloody feel my thumbs anymore. But by the time I finish this board, it's going to feel like someone else is doing it.
Yeah, Rick, that's a really good point, and it's one of the most important things about Mel's videos. He's put, Rick G, actually I really like how you roll with the setbacks and mistakes. And that's what you don't get. If you watch a tutorial video of somebody making something and they don't show any errors, they just want it to be a nice polish, this is how you do it. If you hit a problem, what do you do then?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean,
you're going to hit problems making terrain.
Now, first off, from a point, it doesn't matter how good you are at terrain. I know loads of professional terrain builders. Yeah, we all screw up. Yeah, you will always have problems with materials. You will always have problems with trying to get this done or that done. Your hand will always not be as steady as you like. So there's always problems to fix. But from my point of view, I've always disliked the sort of perfection you get in post-production. You know, where you've got the ability to actually change what you're doing and reflect it as perfect when it actually wasn't, because you're editing it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you present it as perfect, and you've got that situation. People are scared of doing it for making mistakes.
Yeah.
When I came to it, I took a conscious decision that if I screw up, I'm going to show it. Yeah, because I can show how to fix it and that sort of stuff. And like you say, you've got to roll with the setbacks. You will screw up when you're making terrain, but it's okay, because There's that many. As long as you don't screw up at the varnishing stage, you're all good. If you screw up at the varnishing stage, you're screwed. Which is why I don't use cheap varnish.
Yeah, most important thing. Go auto varnish.
Yeah, automotive. This is my favourite.
It's the best stuff.
Hang on, show them that.
This is the one. This is the one that was giving Mel kittens at the time. This is the zombie board.
Oh God,
and,
yeah.
He ordered some matte varnish to finish off the zombie board.
Didn't turn up.
It's supposed to have come on the Tuesday, ready for him to varnish it all up nice and done, so he could post it on the Wednesday. Didn't come, so we spent 3 hours driving around Stoke, which isn't a fun thing to do at any time of the year. But 3 hours trying to find this matte varnish, and on his way into the studio, about to give up. Past a car shop, they thought, I'll just pop in there and have a look. And it's brilliant stuff.
It's a brilliant varnish.
I use this now.
Really, really good. It bangs down, it goes down matte. Yeah, it's really durable.
Well, the good thing about it is as well is you can use a spray gun with it. It goes into a spray gun.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
That's why it's there. If you look at their logo, all their products.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
So if you want to do that, I mean, it sprays pretty nice on its own as it is.
I've just always used it out of the can.
Yeah, it sprays the cans are really good because the nozzle for a change is actually on the side of the can. Right. Which is epic. Really clever idea. But yeah, you can put it into a spray gun and it's super as well. But there you go, and it doesn't cost the earth. What was it, £7, £8 a tin, isn't it?
It was £8 a tin.
Yeah, £8 a tin.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of coverage, one tin, yeah, I figured...
Well, it's 400 mils, isn't it? So.
Well, I mean, I did, what do you call it? I did, with one tin, I did 3 buildings and a 4x4 board. So realistically, one of these tins will cover a 6x4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one thing you've got to remember with spray varnish, yeah, is it's a contact varnish, yeah, a surface varnish. It has no penetration. So when you're using clump foliage and you're using little bits of grass and stuff like that, it will not firm those up. What you need to do with those prior to applying this is go in with a bit of watered down PVA, let that soak through and firm it all up. Then it's ready, once that's dry, to hit it with this and give the contact varnish.
Which you should do with any soft.
Yeah, your PVA is the way for any soft material.
And any little clusters of stones or anything like that.
Yeah.
Dump some watered down PVA and anything like that. Don't trust paint or varnish to do the work for you, because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Right, where's that? Sissy-me! Let's find Sissy-me.
Back at the chat for a minute.
Well, while you have a quick look at the chat, I'm going to find Sissy-me, wherever Sissy-me is, and I'm going to quickly check emails and stuff like that.
That's a good idea. Gary Adams is from Grimsby. Someone's got to be mate.
Oh!
Makes Stoke look cheery. No, I like Grimsby. Fish and chips. Nice there. Although we went to somewhere near Grimsby on a holiday once. We went to, what was it called? The Time Warp.
Oh, right. Gaz B, mate. He's made a pledge, and Kathy has come in, and she's made a good one.
Oh, look at this. What people here.
You beautiful people, you.
Right, so we've got Gaz B. You're on the screen, dude. Oh, we've got the wrong way. Gaz B, and who was the other one? Cat.
Just sorry. It was right. It was Don't want to say a second name, obviously.
Yeah.
So just Cat S. Cats. Yeah, and on top of that, yeah, Daryl D. Yeah, he's jumped on Patreon.
Whoa, nice one.
Yeah.
Nice one, guys.
We do love the patrons because that's the little donations keep me going, but the patrons are the ones that they're the bill ones, you know what I mean?
Both of it together.
Yeah.
Is what makes it sustainable. PayPal and Patreon is what keeps Mel going in 2 different.
And coffee and nicotine.
I supplied him with snacks for tonight, so you can't use any excuse for fainting because of the heat and lack of food.
I'm not going to faint because of the heat. I'm just going to slowly melt.
the same thing, isn't it?
Right. Scissor meat. Scissor meat is going where? There. So we put that back there. And then like that above it. So that one needs to go there.
Can't assume I'm there to keep track of Mel's money. You're joking, not that's Kez's job.
Calm down.
I wouldn't step in that way, no. I'll end up tattooed.
Oh God, what you would.
Some sort of profanity on my forehead.
It's always a fear if having an argument with Kez then going to sleep. You never know how you're going to wake. Right, so what's that one? That is Wisper Pristav. Do you know what? Ben at Foreground, he's come up with all these names. He must do them when he's drunk.
That's how most good ideas are made, aren't they?
Yeah. You know, later at night when he's been writing a scenario, what shall I call it? Wisper Pristav, that's it. I'm sure he either does them when he's drunk, yeah, or he's got a
it's probably an ingredient off a cleaning bottle that he's got from under the sink.
No, I think he's got a load of Scrabble. And he just
throws
them.
Chucks the tiles down. Right, that's the name.
Alright, so that one's going, and we have Prinava. Right, that's a big location actually. That's one of my feature locations, which means it'll be over here. I need a little bit of water.
What's the Brit making, Bob Corning? It's a map for Foreground's Fabled Realms. Tabletop Kickstarter that's out now. Go and check it out.
I think they're up to about 60,000 on it.
They're doing well. Doing well. It looks good. It does look good actually.
Thing is, they've thrown a lot of money at this. They've got the best. I mean, the map. This map that I'm working from, it was drawn by a guy called Jared, and he did the Game of Thrones map.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I mean, and you talk to him. I mean, I think the miniatures have been done by Zealot Miniatures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
There's
the ones who
nice
do all the really nice resin small dribblies.
They do some nice things. Very nice things.
You know, so they haven't wasted. You know, they've not.
Yeah, they've gotten some
trimmed on this.
It tells the Kickstarter looks really cool.
Yeah, and they're going great guns for it. I like the fact that that the idea that they've got the terrain for every one of these locations. Do you know what I mean? Each one of the locations is a terrain set. Yeah. Cool. So you know you got Deldor, not Dildo.
Not Dildo. West side.
That's me calling. I ended up calling it after building that big frost grave table. Yeah, and that was the ruins of Dildo, but it's Deldor. Yeah, but they've got the Deldor range. I know they've got the Mordenberg. I know that Teutonberg is coming. So they're going to have product ranges for each of the locations.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's where GW.
Yeah, generic.
Down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nearly all stuff that you could put in Vampire Counts or Empire.
Yeah.
But nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, GW didn't really go beyond the basic Empire stuff, did they?
No. They didn't do anything for your elves, nothing for Lustria, which everybody asks for, and they're the most watched that sort of thing on YouTube. Yeah. Like Lustrian jungle temples and all that sort of thing. So
they used to. They used to have that hard foam expanded stuff, and that was good stuff. I've got some of that,
I remember on was it one of the magazines or books that they showed how to make it?
Yeah.
It was epic.
No, that was Paul Sawyer's work, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Paul. I'm going to see him soon, hopefully.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to be interviewing him for for one of the terrainiacs shows.
Yeah, for your interview show.
Yeah, and on top of that, I'm actually also. I've been chatting with the guy for James from Ashiro.
Yeah, I saw your comments. Or was it? Yeah, you said about that on the live show.
The interesting thing about him is he's not a full-time terrain maker. Do you know what he does as his main job? He's an architectural model maker.
So he is.
Yeah. But the thing is,
and part-time terrain maker.
That guy is going to know so much about foam board.
Yeah.
And what tools and techniques. So I reckon that's going to be a really good one, picking up skills-wise.
Yeah.
Because he's going to bring in the skills from from...
Well, architectural models. If you've ever seen one up close that's made from foam board, we think our stuff's detailed. But they have to have so much detail because they're obviously representations of real buildings that are going to get built.
Exactly.
Not like ours, which stay as miniatures.
I'll tell you what, it'll be. I'm really looking forward. The thing is, he's in London. Yeah. So I've got to travel down to that there London town. Right, do I want to put that in if I've got to sand that? Or do I want to save those? I think
Sounds like a summer holiday day out, that does.
It does, doesn't it? Sounds like a
kids
jolly.
Kids and Jazz down to down to London town.
That there London town. So we've got that one there. Prinava. It's barely sanded. I could drop that one in, but I'd rather not. Not yet. We could drop Prinava into there because that is sanded. But it's actually there. So no, let's leave.
Oh, somebody's house is pouring with rain. I'm guessing you're in the UK adventures and hobbies.
Someone's got rain?
Yeah.
How close to Staffordshire are you?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Give me critical hits. Welcome to the show.
Right, next job is hot tool. Yeah, we'll embed that one. We'll embed that one. Then I need to sand that, and then we'll be ready to do the. In fact, should I sand that now? In fact, I will. Let's get those sanded now. And then we're ready to drop in a load of locations.
You do AOS battle reports.
he doesn't know me, does he?
Yeah, when Mal Hoovers, he does need to be singing out, I want to break free.
You can bugger off, you lot. You think you're funny? You are.
I think you're funny.
So I need a minor location.
Whoa, the chat's just backfilled about 60 messages that weren't there.
Whoa, we've had a splurge.
Steady on, people.
On the plus side, when I take my smoke breaks, I can leave Jace here, keep you company.
Yeah, Ghost Watch.
Ghost Watch. Do you know what, guys? I'm severely tempted to go get a ladder and go start tapping on the window outside.
You know what? How I haven't done that. I don't know how I've
you know what?
Get a big stick and start tapping.
We did that when we were in barracks. Where were we? Keogh Barracks when I was doing my basic, trade training, medic. Yeah. And we found in town at B&Q this glow-in-the-dark paint. Yeah, so we cut out this sort of like ghost shape out of cardboard that we found, sprayed it with this glow-in-the-dark paint, okay, and then we'd attached it to a length of 2x4, and we'd gone down to the recruits barracks, yeah, and then because they were on like the second floor, we were floating it past them, and all you could hear were these screams. You may have to double tap that just to get that one back on. Sometimes it does things like that. The git. But yeah, what do you call it? We were floating the ghost past the window, scared a load of recruits. Sergeant Major went bloody ballistic with us. It was a good laugh though. Right, we've got Georgia there. But that's getting into the mountain ranges. So I think we're going to have to leave that. I think we're going to have to do that one, that one. We can probably do that one. That one, that one, that one. Yeah, okay, so let me get Gorgon Forest.
Caroline, how's it up in Bury?
Where is she?
Bury.
Bury? Nice bit of the world.
Critical hits. Got my hands on some decorative bark. How do I treat it so I can use it on terrain?
Right, go check out the cork bark tutorial in the Hills playlist. It's all in there, but basically, depending on where you've had your bark from, if you've had it from a modelling supplier, it'll be pre-treated and you'll be good to go straight away. If you've had it from a pet shop or somewhere else, then it's going to need disinfecting. Yeah, to disinfect it, mix up a solution of like an antiseptic and just give it a soak and then leave it out to dry, and that'll sort it for you, mate, and it's good to go.
A good one's what the baby stuff, Milton.
Yeah, Milton's good.
True, because it won't damage, it won't destroy it or damage it, because that's what you use on baby bottles and things.
Yeah, Milton's a good one. Milton's one of those that you only really... It's a bit like baby wipes.
Yeah.
You only ever have them once you've had children, and then after you've had children, you realise I need to keep these.
Yeah, it's so good. Baby wipes cleans everything off. Fantastic stuff.
Baby wipes are brilliant on terrain, actually, on laser cut.
They clean paint off like no one's business. One of the best strippers there is. Apart from that.
Calm down. I knew that was coming. I just knew that was coming. Oh, it's getting hot. And I don't mean like it's like friction hot, as in burning my fingers. I've got to get. I mean, it's quite ironic, yeah, because actually I better check that. No, they've spelt forest right on the name tags. If you actually look at my map, all the forests have got 2 R's in them. A bit of a faux pas there, so I'm glad it's not on the name tags.
As in run, forest, run.
Yeah, so we'll get this one done, and then we can move on to those bits there.
Max and Andrew were talking about. Max is working on some Thomas the Tank engines.
Oh yeah.
And
Corbyn's got a ton of that stuff, you know.
Yeah, we sold a load of ours to somebody in Italy who bought it for like loads of money, and it went a ton. I think it cost nearly £100 in postage.
Really?
Yeah, I sold it a few years ago, so we were clearing out. And it's like the Hornby train set stuff, but for Thomas the Tank engine.
Yeah, that's the
and
stuff.
we sold about 3 kits of it to this guy, and they're all quite expensive to sell off on eBay. They went for like 40 and 60 quid each.
That's
so
all
they
right.
paid like £100 in postage just to get it to Italy.
His kid loves Thomas.
Or he does. Going back to that, so Andrew Fishman then says, I always wanted to do a soda layout. Max says, cool, great for the kids. Andrew says, sod the kids. He wants his own train set.
Do you know I had a train set when I was a kid?
I did, I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved playing.
My dad made me a train set. And it was just a single loop, yeah, in the attic. And I had 2 steam trains that properly put out smoke. And then I had this like cardboard tunnel with a bit of flock on it. And the cardboard tunnel was my most favourite bit of the trains. I played with that more than I played with anything else. Bit of a given, really, wasn't it? Have you ever had one of those moments where you look at a map and wonder, where the bloody hell does that river start?
Yeah. How's that got there?
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. There's no nice hilly area around it.
There's nowhere for that water to generate from and pool from. Where the hell has that come from?
Probably Maine, Severn Trent. I haven't bothered with it.
Just lightly shake that one. And then...
Yeah, don't we all do that, Blink Tom? You can have a look at Kickstarter for Fabled brands and then not give it any money. The amount of web pages I have left open on my internet at home.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Kickstarter projects that I keep going back to and watch it tick down day by day and see more and more get sponsored and more come to the
pledges go up.
Yeah, and
that was like the Mantic terrain.
Yeah, the stretch goals, and I'm like, am I, aren't I?
Am I in or aren't I in?
Yeah.
I've nicked the Henry the Hoover from the studios. He's been held ransom in my studio for the past, 2 days.
Another Filipino boy under my...
Oh, calm down! Right.
Crit asked, how long should he leave it in the oven for and how
hot? Do your dinner, and then once it's all you've had your dinner, yeah, take your dishes out and then put it in a cooling oven, okay? It will dry it out very quickly. On a sunny day, it will dry it outside, but, you know, an oven is a better way of actually drying it out. But, like I say, the best thing to do is actually not put it in when the oven's on, but put it in as the oven's cooling. Yeah, it's still hot enough to do what it needs to do. Yeah, but you've got no chance of setting it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not blaming me if you burn your house down because you were drying bloody bark. I'm trying to describe the photo. What? Why did you put bark in what you call it? Because this bloke on YouTube told me to.
Yeah.
That will not go down well.
Thanks, Miko. Miko Hernborg
Yes.
says, I like this live duo thing, with Mel being able to talk to the chat while working without interruptions.
Do you know what, Jace? This is actually quite good. I don't want to put on you, yeah, but I wouldn't mind doing more sessions like this because it is a lot easier.
As if he hasn't got enough Filipino boys.
Oh, you calm down. He's just jealous.
I am. I've been replaced. Hiya, Bill.
Is that our Bill Dickey?
Mr. Bill from Iowa. Our Bill D.
Ah, Bill D.
I think it might be the sound being picked up from the webcam.
Yeah? Oh, me pressing.
So, no, me. But people saying they can't hear me very well.
Ah, right, yeah. It's probably
not a bad thing.
Yeah. It is because the webcam's right next to me, obviously.
Where it needs to be.
Right, so let's get some locations on. Hot tool time. While it warms up. Right, so we have Sisimi. Wonder what he was drinking when he came up with that name.
Fred asks, what grade sandpaper are you using?
I'm using 60. Yeah, it's a very heavy course, but I need it to get through the volume of the actual foam. Otherwise, I'd just be sanding all day. It can tear the foam a little, but it's pretty easy to fix. And if it does tear it a little, I know I'm going to be going over it with a coating afterwards, so it's going to get filled then anyway. It's one of those things, you don't have to worry about that bit of a cock up, because you have a solution for it at the next stage.
Critical Hits, the guy about the cork, said it was an 80-litre bag from B&M.
You got cork from B&M?
80-litre bag as well.
That's all right, isn't it? Yeah. What sort of cork is it? Is it chippings or...
something I haven't pushed tonight, but now's a perfect chance to. On Facebook, if you've not joined up with Mel's Terrain Tutor following on Facebook, we have a fantastic group on there called the Terrainiacs. If you look for the Terrain Tutors Terrainiacs Facebook group,
there's a link in the description,
guys.
There's a
link in the description down below. Fabulous, friendly group. Probably one of the best you'll find on the internet for any group, never mind just terrain.
It is a bit weird like that, isn't it?
Go and join that, Critical Hits, if you're not already, and stick some pictures up for Mel of the cork that you've got from B&M. I have a feeling you'll be spending some time there this weekend.
More than likely, sir, more than likely.
I think the problem is, Bill and Bleen, is when we've got the camera on the webcam, it's using that mic. And when I switch the camera to the laptop, it'll be using this mic. So when you can see me now, you can hear me fine, but then when we switch to what Mel's doing, you'll hear Mel better. So what I'll do is, if there's a question I need to ask, I'll switch over. Thanks for the feedback on that, guys.
He's good, isn't he? If he keeps it up another year or two, he'll have his MVQ level 1.
Yay! Oh, don't talk to me about that.
Is that...
One of my first starting out in IT is I used to run a training centre in Hamley. We used to have about 120 students, but what we used to do was retrain people who were out of work.
Yeah.
And so we would do an MVQ in basically Microsoft Office. So yeah. Excel, Access and Word. And I spent 3 years doing that.
Long time.
Although it was enjoyable, it's hard work.
Teaching is hard work.
Don't anyone tell you, tutoring people who don't even know how to use a computer, how to become good with Office is easy. Because it is not. And the MVQs at that time, what were they?
They were sitting guilds, weren't they?
I think that, yeah, sitting guilds. I think it was called Clate Level 2.
That was it.
think we were doing them on not even a click level 1, which is this is a mouse, this is a keyboard.
This is a mouse. This is the house.
Oh, I had a fantastic. There was a fantastic guy who used to come on with it. He wasn't fantastically bright, but he was one of those nature's characters.
Yeah.
And he was such a nice, friendly guy. He looked a bit like I forgot his name. The guy who died on the horse while filming The Musketeers.
Oh. I know who you mean. I just don't know.
Yeah, his name's gone. He looked like him anyway. But he was a lovely chap. He couldn't get his head around how to use the computer.
Yeah.
And I used to have to teach them the basics of a computer, never mind how to use Office. And there was one time he'd switched his computer up, was starting the lesson, and I'd gone out to grab some materials and come back in, and he's, Jace. I was like, yeah, Barry, what's the matter, mate? There's this problem with the computer. What's that? It's and you won't believe me because it's been on The Simpsons, but it's God's honest truth. It's asking me to press the key to start up. I said, well, we'll press it then. I don't know, I can't find it. Why? What's the key? It's asking me press the any key.
Oh, God.
Like, no, Barry, what it means is you press any of the keys on the keyboard and that will... Oh, right, so there isn't an any key. No. All right, thanks for that, Jace, mate.
Oh.
I had to teach fantastic people like that, but it's hard work when you've got to try and get them a qualification.
Hey.
In 6 months.
You want to talk about hard work? You try teaching anatomy and physiology to sports students. That was not fun. That was not fun at all. Alright, I'll put this name tag underneath, I think.
Right. Go back onto that screen. Just to let you know, guys, the chat is playing up a little bit, so it's backloading about 30 at a time. So to save a little bit of time, I'm not going to go back and look through loads. So if I've missed your question, please stick it in again, and we'll ask away, because I'll probably have to scroll up about 50 screens to catch up where it's going. It's probably the heat.
There'll be a lag of some sort, won't there?
It's strange how much heat affects
computers.
IT. Having worked for several years as a network manager.
Saying that, what do you call it? Our broadband on a hot day when the switch box gets too hot.
It does. It slows down.
It just packs up.
That's why if you have a computer, like the biggest fad of computers at the minute, if you're a gaming computer or you're getting a really high spec PC, is to have them water cooled mostly. And there's a reason for the cooling, because it does improve performance. If something gets too hot, it starts to miss the firings on the connections, and so it not through its own fault, it slows down. It doesn't do any damage, although it can if it's prolonged heat, but it can affect performance, and that's why cooling is not only good for stopping your PC catching on fire, but it does aid in the performance. If everything's nice and cold, the connections are nice and smooth, all the heat sinks and everything are all keeping the jobs easier than what they would be if it was a super hot internal system.
It's a bit like me and terrain.
Yeah.
If I get too hot, I start slowing down. I get fatal errors.
No, that's the glare off Mel's head, so really.
Oh, you shut up.
Causing the autocorrect on the camera for the colour correction. Roy Kinnear, that was it. Thanks very much.
Is that the guy on the horse?
Yeah, I used to love him. Very funny actor. Apparently, Mel is way louder and clearer in both cases. Well, that's just because he's got a big gob.
That's because I'm used to presenting.
Yeah.
I'm a skilled YouTube presenter.
Don't you laugh at me. Only the wife's allowed to laugh at me.
You don't know what too hot is, you're whinging plum, eh?
Oh, here we go.
G'day, mate.
Yeah, but you got to remember, we're in buildings that weren't built, with the intention of people getting hot in them.
Yeah, they weren't built in tropical heat Australia. They were built in cold and wet Stoke. So when the heat comes,
the heat kills us.
These nice buildings, which are freezing cold in the winter, become ovens that you don't need a kiln to fire your pottery in.
Very true. Very true. Basically, Jebediah was the Titos. And if you're wondering, that's Jebediah Spode.
Yeah, not Jebediah Springfield.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking then. Everyone's going to be thinking Simpsons.
Oh, Paul, nasty. Sorry to hear that, mate.
Is he alright? What's he done?
The upside of the house fire that he had is that thanks to the terrain tutor, he's back making his own terrain down the side. However, he lost 30 years of army collecting terrain.
Oh, man. And money doesn't replace that.
No, it hurts, that does that sort of thing. Like when the shelf drops out of cabinets.
Yeah. Oh.
It just hurts. Or your box full of models that you've just finished painting for your son fall off the top of the cupboard for no reason at all.
Or what you call it?
And spread themselves around.
Or your varnish frosts.
Yeah. God, varnish frosts gives me nightmares now.
It does, doesn't it? Do you know what? I still don't...
Do I need a timeout for laughing at you?
Do I need to... Mate, if you had a timeout for laughing at me, I'd have to put pretty much everyone on the bloody chat on timeout. You can stay there then. Right. Yeah. Just making sure I'm naming them the right places.
My family is watching.
Your family?
Apparently, yes. So I've just been told that my son wasn't very impressed with my Aussie accent.
Oh, right.
There we go.
Is the wife watching?
Yeah, it's her that's commented.
Oh, right. Then again, saying that, Corbyn's probably watching. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not lurking around in the comments somewhere.
I bet Beth's there laughing her head off as usual.
It's because Dad's on YouTube. See, for my kids, it's sort of normal.
Yes, Max, I am the Jace, which is in nearly every stream as the mod. This time, an in-person mod. I am...
He is the one and only.
The terrain...
You're not the terrain tutor.
Shooter.
Calm down, lad. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Friend.
He's my little Filipino boy in practice.
Yeah, I'm Filipino boy in training.
I'm going to call him Philomena.
Philomena.
Oh, Mel's getting old. Drop that one.
I like my Australian accent. I think I've got a pretty good one when I do it properly.
When you do it properly.
There we go. Hi, Daddy. Love Beth.
Oh. Hi, Beth. How you doing?
Hope you're getting ready for bed.
Oh, typical dad mode.
Yes, you can use your mobile phone to take up all the bandwidth in the house now.
Uncle Mel says you can stay up half an hour later.
There you go. You can stay up half an hour. That means you go to bed 7 minutes early. Thanks, Mel.
Oh, Dad's taking no prisoners. Dad's taking no prisoners whatsoever.
Beth says, hi, Mel. Oh, bless her. She spelled your name wrong.
It's all right. My own kids don't know how to spell it half the time.
It's because it's a weird name for most people. Short for Melanie.
Oh, you calm down, you. Yeah, that is the right location. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, we've got some fells to deal with. Oh, right. We have...
Just a family message. Tom, have you taken Luna out for one of her walks, please? Because she should have gone out.
I love doing that on Corbin when he's watching me.
Right.
I'm really trying out for the timeout corner.
Ooh.
All the corners in this room are getting warmer now. Do you think it's getting warmer? It was getting cooler,
It
but
is,
it's getting warmer again.
It is picking up a bit. Then again, it is that we've got the heat of the hot tools. Oh man, step out there for a second. Seriously. We'll have the echo for a little while. That's
There's a difference there.
right. They've only sent me one grassy fells, so I suppose I should put it there.
In the big grassy area.
Well, on the map we've got southern grassy fells, eastern grassy fells, and northern grassy
yes,
fells.
3.
But with regards to my actual tags, I've only got grassy fells. Yeah, which I suppose makes sense because otherwise it's going to be tagged all over the place. Yeah. But
Yeah, I suppose they just want you to pick it out of the bordering, don't they?
to be truthful, I think I labelled these. I gave them a list of what I wanted. So I think more than likely when I was doing the list, I looked at it and thought
Yeah,
one
just
will
one
do.
will do. Yeah, because it is one expanse, isn't it?
Yeah. Now we've got a road that runs from Prinava down
Yeah,
to
down
there.
to the river almost.
So if we plant that there, I think, because the edge of Grassy Fells is that river there. Yeah, and it's, yeah, that'll do nice there.
Yeah, because there's nothing in the way there, is there?
No. Yeah, doing well. Right, let's mark that out. And then I've got a forest to drop in. Right, I'll mark these out. I'll let me hot tool warm up so I can have a play with it. Would you like to play with my tool? You ain't buying.
Bill, no, he's not wearing a mic. The mic's on the camera that you're looking at the map with now is a webcam, and the mic's on that. So when we're focusing on that, it'll be picking up the sound from that mic. When we switch focus to this camera,
It changes.
it'll be probably a bit clearer. But then you've got to remember that the mic in the laptop's probably not as good as the one in the webcam.
We're slowly getting there, folks.
It's time. It's time.
Hey,
You'll get there.
we're actually doing live from the studio. Look how long that took. Forest there.
Yeah, it's hot here, Rach, as well.
It's,
And
yeah.
You've got 2 fans. Sent out the loft, the big fans in the loft.
You mean you had 2 fans and you didn't bring one to the studio? Have you seen what he's doing to me, Rach? He just wants me to strip off. I've told you there's a special pledge level for that on Patreon, mate. Is that Beth, is it? Nice name, Beth. Right, let's drop these in. I wonder how those architecture students are doing downstairs. We've got a bit of an exhibition going on at the minute at the studios. And there's a load of master's students in architecture, and they've submitted a load of like designs and plans and like models of what they think they should do with this site. Yeah, and if I hadn't have been that busy on this commission, I'd have slipped in a model of my own in between them, because their work, shite.
It's like Duplo wood blocks.
Yeah, yeah. Terrainiacs, we could knock them out of the water, you know what I mean? Easily.
But there is free drink, beer, wine. Sadly, we're both driving.
Unfortunately, yes. Well, I'm not driving, I'm walking.
So I drove, so I can't have a drinky. We got any more donators?
Doesn't look like it at the moment, matey.
Let's remind everyone that obviously the reason Mel does this is for the community, basically, to give us all the insights in how to make decent terrain for our tables or our dioramas or our railway projects, whatever you're into. And he does that by your funding, because he doesn't work at the moment. He hasn't got a job.
I haven't got a job, I'm the terrain tutor.
It's not a job, is it? Come on, it's a jolly.
Really?
But he hasn't got proper.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, video editing, so I've got it up on time and it's not a proper job. Did you know in this studio I have a broadsword? I've also got a baseball bat somewhere. Where is it?
I've got the sword.
Oh, and he's trashing my studio. Can't take the young man anywhere.
The most scary thing is the Filipino boy army. Yeah, so as we were saying, fundraising. Two ways, the best ways to try and help Mal out and help yourself out by keeping him providing all the fantastic training tutoring he does for us is either via Patreon. The link's in the description. Jump on there. You can subscribe for however much you like, from $1 to $100 or whatever you're feeling is your limit. It's a bit confusing at first when you use the Patreon website, but as soon as you go through, you can see you can limit to just $1 a video, and then you can limit your cap to $1. So if Mel puts out 3 or 4 videos in a month, you're not going to pay $3 or $4. If your limit is $1, you will only pay $1. Similarly, if you're not into Patreon or doing the regular monthly thing, PayPal, the terraintutor@gmail.com. Links in the description as well. Anything you send across. £1, £2, £5.
$1 million. Never gonna happen.
Couple of hundred, that wouldn't be amiss.
That's you.
But whatever you give helps to keep Mel producing this great content for us. Right, get you off my ugly mug. Oh yeah, and if you're in here watching, hit the like button. How many times do we have to tell them that now?
Well, you keep telling them all the time. I keep telling them hit the dislike button.
Yes, Beth, I have given a donation. My time.
Is Beth giving you grief?
Yeah.
Good on her. Thank you, Beth.
Well, she's also got a box of cherry baked bars.
It's just too hot to eat them yet.
They're probably melted.
Oh, they'll do fine at about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's nice. It is nice, yes. Yes, yes. Right. Is that? Yeah, that's the right forest.
Rudy asks, have you got any plan to put a secret message on the board in a UV ink?
No. I've already written secret messages underneath the phone. Truly, truly obscene. I can't say anything more than that because I know Jace's kids are watching.
Let's hope the phone doesn't fall.
Well, if it does, I can assure you it will leave an interesting pattern. And I ain't saying any more than that.
They're all having a go about your broadsword, saying it's not a proper broadsword, it's a knife. It's mostly the Aussies, because they've been watching Crocodile Dundee again.
Oh, yeah. Swinging around a Bowie sword and thinking they're special. Right.
Continent Wars!
Continent War. Well, we've never been to a war with Australia, have we?
Yeah, we sent all our criminals there.
Yeah, I know we sent our criminals there, but we've never actually been at war with them.
Well, we do, but we do it in a more civilised manner.
Rugby,
cricket.
Yeah, we've been at war with them.
We've been at war with them for years.
Right, let's put some of these, what you call it.
Unfortunately, they've had the better of it over most of the year.
One blob there. And one blob there. Is that one? Can't tell. No. What?
Chris says, in reply to Rudy's comment about putting a secret message, something like, here be dragons near a map edge in UV ink.
You see, I could do that pretty easy. But the dragons aren't by the map edge, they're around about here.
Mal needs more pole arms.
I've got a pole arm at home, actually. Kez got it me for my 25th birthday. You know, as random presents go.
Max, you're going to have to remind me what paints you've got, and then I can give you an idea as to how to paint the Mercedes.
Is Max painting Mercedes, is he?
Yeah. Not ones on the street, I hope.
That could be entertaining. What's the giggle?
Dwayne says, I bet he drew a willy.
Oh, far more than that. You wouldn't believe how far my artistic talents stretch. Right. I need to start marking things off on that map so I know that I've done them. So we have. I'm going to send this poster when it's done. I'm going to send it over to Beasts of War. Yeah. Because I promised it to Lloyd. Because he wanted the map for above his bed. So I said I'd send him the poster. By the time he gets it with all my corrections.
All your graffiti. Mal was he?
I was winding, I was winding Foreground up. They were doing like this live Kickstarter thing. Yeah. Like a live chat on Kickstarter. And I kept going, listen, where do I put this Belonga Mel? Yeah, and they're like, they've got maps out, they're looking at the maps, trying to find Belonga Mel. And it's like, Ben's like, I've never come up with anything called Belonga Mel. What's Belonga Mel? I'm just like, but I need to know where to put the Isle of Belonga Mel.
It didn't cut on.
No, not at all.
Oh dear, how embarrassing.
They simply do not watch enough Crocodile Dundee.
Alright, Martin, take care.
Later, buddy. Atlantic Fells, yeah, we've done that one. Alavant Haba. Bivata. Sesame. Done that one. Done that forest. Done that. Done that. Done that. Done that. Done that. Done that. Technically done those. We've done Ricket. Yeah, we've done that one.
Yeah, I know, Surreal. We got it wrong there somewhere, didn't we? Definitely. He says, yeah, what a horrible thing to do to your criminals. Criminals, send them from the smog and violence of London to the beautiful virgin land of Australia.
Yeah. We're not smart like that. We're really not. There's a load of buildings and stuff over there. Right, I suppose the next thing is I need to...
Well done, Beth.
What's Beth done?
She's using all the internet at home and annoying Tom.
Good on it. Proud of it. I also need to take photos of this. Otherwise, I'm going to be screwed up when I do my updates. It's really coming together now. Right, we have completed, yeah, pretty much half the map. Yeah, all of this is done. All of that is done. All of this is done. All we have remaining is this bit here and the mountain reaches in this bit here. My task for the rest of tonight, I think, is to tackle this bit. If I can leave the mountain ranges till tomorrow.
Shift that. Oh, a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. If I can leave the mountain ranges till tomorrow, I can come in and shape all those up tomorrow. Yeah. It depends on how cool and how I feel in another hour or so, to be perfectly honest. What we're on, about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9:10.
Yeah, shows typically scheduled to run till 10, half 10. Yeah, so I reckon I can get to that. Now, I do need a bit of a fresh air break. Do you need a break or do you want to swap? Do you want to monitor the chat while I take 5 minutes and I'll swap with you?
Yeah, if you want to. That's
Is
fine.
that all right?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
mind?
no, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, you don't mind being left alone?
No, I'm not being on my own.
I'm going to go tap at the fucking window.
As long as
Oh, pardon my language.
As long as something doesn't touch me on the shoulder while you're gone. It's bad enough when you touch me on the shoulder when you're here.
Oh, you kid. But apologies for the language there, guys. I did not mean it. Right. I'm going to go for a quick nicotine stick. Yeah, and then I will be back shortly, mate. And then if you want to go for a fresh air break and just cool down a bit,
yeah,
I'll take them through the next bit. Thank you kindly, guys. I will leave you in the capable hands of our Jace. Yeah. Now remember, he is an IT professional, so I expect it to be broken by the time I come back.
Or everything's gone down.
I'll see you in a bit, Matt.
See you in a bit. So, any questions, guys, that you've got that you want to ask Mel? Try and fix them with question in front of it, so it makes it easier for me to pick it up on the screen. Because, like I said, the chat misbehaving a bit tonight. Just to ask a question, is it clearer when the camera's on me like this? You can hear me clearer, or does it make no difference as to when the camera's as it is now? Just let me know. Are there any tricks we want to play on Mel? I'm here. I'm here. There we go. We need to do a prank on him. How long have I known Mel, Fred? Well, I've been watching the Train Tutor for 2.5, 3 years. Maybe a bit over 3 years. But speaking then in touch with Mel, perhaps 18 months ago. Something like that, I think. Yeah, about 18 months ago, I would say. But we live pretty close to each other. So it's only like 10-15 minutes in the car for me to get to Mel's house. And it's only like 5-10 minutes for me to get to the studio from my house. Okay, no difference with the sound, so I just need to speak a bit clearer and a bit louder. You want to have a guided tour around the room? Okay. I'll answer the question quickly before I show you the camera around the room. Cat, Weasel. There are 2 places that Mal gets his foam from. The first one, if you want thicker foam, there's a company called Jackador, who are on the internet. They supply sort of polystyrene foam to places like B&Q and Homebase. But if you go on their website, they do the thicker XPS foam. Also for thinner foam, so the blue foam that you can see behind me. This is really difficult when it's back to front there. That is from a company called Panel Systems UK. They're on the internet as well. Bucket of PVA over the doorway. Don't think so. Right, let's have a show around the studio, shall we? Now, obviously, for legal reasons, I can't be showing you under the table because as Army of Filipino children, we haven't got consent from them to be on camera. But first of all, this is Mal's storage shelves. It's tin foil for his moulds, his rock moulds, tools and paints, lots of plastic cups and tubs, as every terrain maker should have. Spray paints. We didn't know Mel likes his Army Painter. Really good, actually, Army Painter, because their sprays are perfectly colour matched usually to their bottles of paint. So it's for a model painter, never mind for a terrain sort of creator and painter. They are fantastic. This is the map that Mel was working with originally, this tiny map, before he got one printed out by the printers. There's Mal's hot wire tools. What else have we got? There's the window boarded up, which is fantastic on a day like today. All the new shelving we put in a few weeks ago and tidied up. The Terra Tiles collection in the corner there. Some of Mal's Train products down there. At the minute, all this is covered up, but it will be in future. A lot of this will be open because Mel's going to start showcasing his terrain that he's done in the past on these shelves. So it gives a nice backdrop when he's doing his videos. So the plan is you'll be standing in that area there, and then you'll have all that in the backdrop. We've obviously got the current project. Let's see if we can get a nice big long shot on that. There's the full-size map that Mal got printed at the printers. It's actually 1-to-1 scale for the map that he's working on the table. Mal's ample foam storage and hardboard. All the drawer storage. Mal's cabinet from home for his miniatures. Display cabinet with his Chindits in, which are looking very nice. Tools desk. All the paintbrushes, the files, the tweezers. And more tool storage down there. The flocking shelves. With all the flock on. And then the work desk, which you see in videos. There we go, and just in time,
Hey.
I can hear someone coming back
Hello.
for our virtual tour of the studio.
Oh, you've been giving them a tour?
We haven't been able to show them under the table because obviously we haven't got the permission from Child Services about your Filipino army. But they've had a good look at everything else.
Right. I'm going to take over the chat for a second. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reply to your comments, but Jace, go get 5 minutes, mate. It's a lot cooler, dude. It's a bit hot in the studio at the minute. Yeah, so let me take you through what I want to challenge next.
See you in a minute, guys.
See you in a minute, Jace. Yeah, I've got all this. Now, I want to avoid doing any work on the actual mountains as yet, which I've marked out. Yeah, so I want to work down this river valley. Yeah, start dropping in all the major locations. Yeah, which means sanding. It's going to get hot. But that's what we're here for. Hotness. Right, I'm going to put my phone on charge. Right. So how's he doing? Is he doing all right? He seems to be doing all right, doesn't he? I've got to say, massive shout out to Jace. Yeah, he is an absolute star. Yeah, and I wouldn't have got as far on this build tonight without him. Hi, Mal, question. I'm building some Wild West Exodus terrain. I'm wondering how to achieve that old, dark, wooden look buildings. Umber washes, mate. Raw umber, give it a wash. That'll really darken it down. I can't imagine him putting anything on the door. Beth, I don't know what conversation you're talking about. I hope Mel doesn't scroll back. Really? Is it like that? Yeah, don't scroll up. Shots fired. Oh, right. Lucas, thank you, buddy. Max is busy fixing his steering wheel. You probably won't do a very good... Is Jace up to something? Question. Will Mal include a legend on his map or a sea serpent or other groovy things? Yeah, I've got this, which is the map panel. Okay, so this is going to be, this is going to be painted up and sort of inserted on the map as the title panel. I've debated doing sea monsters. Yeah, it really depends on time, to be perfectly honest, guys. You know, if I've got the time to do it, it'll happen. If I haven't, it won't. With foreground, I've pretty much turned around to them and said, look, you know, you will get a 3D map and it will look great. There's lots of things I would like to be on the map and lots of things I'd like to do, but it comes down to time. Like I was saying earlier, you know, I didn't even sort of quote this job. I didn't even quote this job. I just simply said I wanted it and I swapped the job I'd got. Now this is a lot more work already. So I'm limited by time, I'm limited by deadlines. Yeah, if I have the time and I can do it, I will do it because I love maps and I'm loving this project. So if I can take this project further, yeah, then, you know, I'd love to. Also a compass. Yes, we've got a compass. The foreground have sent me a load of... They've sent me a load of compass stars. Okay. But I've got to figure out how to paint them. Now, Adam did say that they're technically designed to sit on top of each other in some way, but I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. Unless that one, wait, we may be on a winner. That one goes on there, yes, that would go on there, and then that would go on there. I think I've just figured it out, but here's the thing. Yeah? Look how thick that is. That's too thick for my map. See, I think they're supposed to be layered like that. Okay, so I can paint them each individually and I get the star shape of the compass. But the problem is that it's just too thick. That's got to be about, I mean, that's 4 mil, they're 3 mil. That's a centimetre thick. That's too thick for me. So what I might have to do is have a word with Adam and say, look, do me a thinner one. It's good having Jason. You two are like the two old fellas in the balcony on the Muppets. That's brilliant. Question for scenery stuff. How would I best make a bunch of trees that are half singed by a fire-breathing dragon? I'd recommend flamethrower. No, what you want to do is build the trees, yeah, so that obviously you build them with the intention of knowing where the burnt areas are going to be. The burnt areas would have shorter limbs where the twigs and that sort of stuff are burnt off, but the majority of the branches are charred. You add your foliage to the other side, slightly encroaching the burnt area, and then you're going to have to come in with something like an airbrush or a spray can, yeah, and singe it, yeah, by spraying it. I'd recommend going with a brown and then a black. Hey Bear, sand the bottom down. Okay, try it. Okay. Well, is it possible to make a billabong tree? Billow? I'm sure it is, mate. You can make any tree you want. It's just apply the techniques. Daddy was going to pull a prank on you. Really, Beth? Was he? Your daughter's grassed you up, mate.
She always grasses me up. The grass.
Right, I am going to pass the power chair over to Jace, yeah, and I'm going to get sand in. Over to you, buddy.
Don't leave your fabled realms behind.
Oh, I need that.
You'll be looking for that.
Yeah, right.
Hello, chat.
He's back. It is cooler out there, isn't it?
It's loads cooler. It's actually quite fresh. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Bodes well for a slightly less humid evening.
Yeah, we need it to cool down a bit, I think. Otherwise, we're going to melt. Right, so sand that lot off. So if I do, I think it's time for a new piece of sandpaper. Right, so let's go there. Right, so Tudon Forest. All right, that's what we're on. Let's get it done. Right, so start off, shape the, bevel this land down a bit more. There's no river valleys on this one, so that's, well, apart from the massive one that runs straight down the middle of it. So I'm on a winner on that count. And the other bonus is all of this is actually going underneath forest, so I don't have to worry too much about texture in it. So Chase, have you got any particular favourites when it comes to foreground stuff?
I think the trees.
Yeah.
I think you can't not love that. I mean, Jarvis I always think is one of the best sort of flock and tree and
oh, the trees from Jarvis are K&M, aren't they? They're the old GW ones.
Greenfield type stuff is normally Jarvis.
Yeah.
But
foreground trees are nice.
Trees are the best because not only are they fantastic trees, but as you found, the club foliage is
quite nice.
It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
I mean, the MDF stuff they make is nice as well, but it is complicated.
They've
It
got
takes a lot of building.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of time investment. They're beautiful models, but it just.
That's. You're right there, mate. You're right there. They've just produced a fort. Yeah, and I've asked them to send me one for for the kids, for them to put together, because I figure that'll keep them busy over summer.
For the next several summers.
It's going to be one of those projects when they go, Dad, I've got nothing to do. Oh, children.
Yes. The quad's still waiting for you.
But you haven't finished your Fabled round build. They're all getting drunk down there.
Yeah, just been speaking to the guy who set it up.
Oh, what? Dan or the...
From the university.
He was going to come up here, but because we're live, he didn't.
He's packing his car.
Yeah,
he said they've done quite well with it.
Yeah, well, they had a good turnout.
He thought they were only going to get about 5 or 6 people, and they've had between 50 and 100 people come.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we've been up here, because, I mean, it just stopped.
That's how many people they've had come to it, yeah. He thought they were only going to get 5 or 6.
I'll tell you what, you put free booze on in Stoke, and everyone
you're not wrong. If the word gets spread around.
I can guarantee.
I'm surprised there isn't a mob in the car park sitting in the corner.
No, they're the artists, mate. And they'll be back, trust me.
Well, Fred's just gone.
Has he?
A couple of others have just gone. But there's quite a few still making merry down there.
Well, the thing is, he will have left the booze. And so, you know, they'll be like, yeah, we might as well, since we're here.
It's only rude not to.
Indeed. So just carving out this river valley, making it a bit deeper so it doesn't disappear. Well, the last thing I want to do is shape the board in such a way that the river goes over a hill. And so that means I need to actually get the camber of the river right. Who'd have thought you'd have to think about stuff like that, eh?
Well, that's it on a small model like that. But it's all to the eye.
It is, mate, it is. I'll rip that out, I'll have to fix that. But overall, I've just got to basically put a bit of shaping on this one. Because most of this is going to disappear under rocks and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the price, Andrew Fisherman from down under says the Mordham Tower is freaking sweet.
It is.
The fort looks fun, but ouch on the price. Yeah, but have you seen the size of it?
I mean,
it's going to take up most of your board anyway.
Price on the foreground stuff has always been an issue because it is pricey. But I always look at that church. That church took me 42 hours to complete. Yeah, now a kit that takes 42 hours to complete, when you break it down, I think it was for the entire kit set, I think it was £100 or 120 retail with all the walls and everything. That's £3 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it is entertaining. It's a hobby. What hobby do you get for £3 an hour?
Mm.
I mean, you think the average miniature you paint, if it takes more than an hour, you can't get miniatures for less than £3 now.
No.
So, you know, in comparison, when you look at it as price per hobby at time, it's actually quite reasonable.
Well, if you look at just going to the cinema.
Oh God.
Between £8 and £12.
And the rest.
To go and watch a film.
It depends on whether you want sweets or not, doesn't it?
It's just the ticket. If you go and that's whether you just have a normal or 3D or VIP.
I can't do the 3D.
But that's for what at most on average 2 hours.
Yeah. Easily.
And so you're looking at £4 an hour minimum just to watch a film.
Yeah. So I mean, price-wise, yeah, I agree with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at things like...
When you look at other manufacturers and stuff like that, there are cheaper kits out there.
Look at TT Combat and what they're doing. They're making it affordable. Their kits are nice, but they're not the level of Sarissa. They're not the level of
foreground,
They're not the level of Black Ops or foreground. Because those kits, when you get them in your hands and you've built them, you can tell the difference.
Oh, God, yeah.
But I'm not knocking TT Combat stuff because I've got quite a bit of it at home. It's great stuff.
Thing is,
you don't need every building to be the big massive
No.
foreground. You need other buildings as well, but that's your centerpiece. Yeah, and it does cost a lot of money, but like Mel says, it's an investment in your hobby.
It's an investment in your hobby, and it's a feature piece.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And if you're going to spend it and you want a feature piece to stand out, then
you know, you invest in it. I mean, if you look at it comparably, you know, look at other kits of the same size.
Yeah, TT Combat's cheap because they do small buildings.
You know, but the moment
Mostly,
you start scaling up,
you look at their what is it, their tower.
Yeah.
That's, is it? I can't remember. Don't quote me the price. It's somewhere between £40 and £80 for that.
Yeah. Well, then go on to the resin. Look at Tabletop Manor.
Yeah.
You know, and their building's beautiful, but you're going to drop some coin on them. That's for sure.
And no one can complain about price when you've got Forge Wheels on the market.
No.
And GW.
No.
But once again, as Miles said, how many times do you buy the figures once you've got an army? If you buy more than one army, then that's up to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you buy an army, you probably spend £1,000 on getting, let's say, at least one of every unit. But it's over time.
It is.
You shouldn't go out and drop £1,000 straight away because you've then got to paint it all.
Yeah.
It all.
That's a mistake straight off. Also, I think it's important that, you know, when we do a hobby, that we maintain perspective, yeah, with other hobbies. Okay, and what I mean by that is golf.
Yeah, archery.
Yeah.
Anything.
Golf, fishing. My brother spent £1,000 on a set of fishing kit.
Yeah.
You know, he spends something like £400 a year just to get a license.
Yeah, just on the rod fees.
Yeah, just to go stand by water.
And fish.
You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, at times this hobby can be expensive. There's times when it can be quite cheap, like we've discussed. But at the same time, you've got to keep it in perspective. You know, it's actually one of the more accessible hobbies. There's not many hobbies you can do in your own home, at your own pace, that doesn't involve you having to join some club.
Watching the tally.
And all those sort of factors.
And if you want to join a club, there are nearly always clubs local.
Oh God, yeah.
One game of one type or another, and most of those clubs are free or a very small amount because they hire somewhere out that's a great space. Like most of the clubs that I've ever been to that are pay per visit are at the most £2.
Yeah.
Some £3, but no more.
I think Gatekeeper's subs was £2.50.
Yeah.
You know, for the week.
Yeah, £2 to £3.
But you know, this is relatively. I mean, this is probably this is an incredibly cheap hobby unless you decide it's not going to be an incredibly cheap hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is down to you, isn't it? You know, how much you want to put into it.
You can play GW on a budget.
Yeah.
eBay's your friend.
And the rest.
So there are ways to play it, and you also don't have to buy every model that's going. You don't have to look at Forge Wheel's website.
Yeah, at all.
That's a recommendation. Don't
look at Forge Wheel's website. Get down, you.
Let's have a look at the comments.
Go on then, let's see if we've got any questions.
Let's have a see. Jerry Reiner says, if you haven't the time to inlay the compass into the MDF, maybe you could add spacers to the layers and allow the compass to stand proud and spin, like a compass tower of sorts.
I think it'd be too complicated, and I think the chances of it breaking and that sort of stuff with it being a moving part, I wouldn't want to go that way. To be truthful, the compass doesn't need to be added until we're ready to actually put the C in, which is one of the last stages. So I've got time to bully, foreground to make me a better one. Yeah. I mean, I know that Adam, when he did these name tags, he basically stayed up one night and did them overnight to ship them the next day to me. So I'm sure if I turn around and say, well, can you just rejig this for me? I mean, they've been really supportive on the project. Really supportive. So I don't think it would be that much of a problem to get a new compass made. He says.
Yeah.
It depends.
on how well they survived running their Kickstarter. I mean, it might have killed them by the time they've done it. Put some valleys in here.
Yeah, Fabled, and as Andrew says, it takes time. I wouldn't say to anybody when you're painting miniatures that how quickly you paint them is a measure of how your painting is.
Unless you're Polish.
Yeah, when you're in.
When you're one of those freaky speed painters.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. It's more about you just being happy with the results that you're getting, and that investment that you put into them will show on the tabletop.
Come on,
because you'll be pleased and proud to put them on a tabletop and play with them. And that's what it comes down to.
I think I mean, perfect example is my Chindits. You know, I have not rushed to paint those. Yeah, it's a pleasure for you. That's what you've got to remember, not a chore.
Yeah, and if that's it, and when you start looking at time and assess with time on it, then that's when it becomes a problem and not a part of the hobby.
Yeah, that's when it becomes.
Don't look at how long it takes you to paint something. Look at how much you're enjoying the process and how much you're learning. Nobody with their first mini is going to produce a Golden Demon standard miniature.
No chance.
But over time, you learn how to paint. You learn how paints work. You learn how other mediums work within those paints, such as gloss varnish, matte varnish, Lamian medium, if you want to call it, from GW. All the washes, the glazes, pigment powders, all those sorts of things that you pick up over time. That's what you're learning. You're learning the process, and those miniatures are what is the output. So don't measure it by time, whatever you do.
No.
Measure it by how much fun you are enjoying doing it.
Well, I think what you've got to remember is above all, what other hobby do you measure by time?
Yeah.
You know, I often see posts about model burnout and stuff like that, and it's like, if you're getting burnout from a hobby, it's not a hobby. You're treating it wrong.
You're treating it as a manufacturing process.
Yeah, you're treating it as
piecework.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that. It's supposed to be what we do to wind down.
Exactly. You sit there. I always find whenever I paint anything or make stuff, for me, it just calms me down. It chills me out. Might have the television on, or might have some music playing in the background, or even Mel's live shows, like a lot of you do when we have the live shows on, doing stuff in the background while you're listening.
Yeah.
It just helps to calm you down because you're doing something practical. You're doing something that's at our base nature, which is to make things with our hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's
from wooden clubs when we were in the prehistoric times to little wooden swords and.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit, you know, in the past, but you know, making and painting, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is fundamentally therapeutic. It's part of. I mean, it's why they have art therapy. You know,
it's like we talked about, like you said, it is therapy, and we talked about in previous shows how many people on the live shows have or still suffer from some sort of mental trauma.
Yeah.
And doing things that's why I say exercise is good for you, because it releases the endorphins and it does all that, but so does making with your hands.
Yeah.
Because you're creating, you're taking that part of your brain and that's taking up the front. Up the forethought, if you like.
Yeah.
And all those worries and concerns and the feelings.
I've never been stressed about life whilst doing hobby.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about it, because you've got to concentrate on what you're doing.
Sometimes you swear at it.
Oh, good.
Because you cut yourself, you glue yourself, you burn yourself, you make a mistake. But then you forget about it and move on to the next bit.
You do, mate. I think also, I mean, doing what I'm doing right now is slightly different, because this is a commercial process.
Yeah, but look at your smile.
Yeah.
How's it different than you painting your chin bits?
Do you know what?
They say that, you're getting paid for it and you don't get paid for your chin bits, but you get paid in a different way.
Yeah.
You still get paid.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it makes you happy in life. As we've talked about, money's not everything, but you need money.
Yeah, unfortunately you do.
Money is the necessary evil. That's why we ask for your donations to help Mal doing it, because it is Mal's job. But unfortunately, the government won't pay him. No one else pays him except for when he's doing commissions. But Mal doesn't want to be just purely a commission dude.
No, no. If it was a matter of just purely doing commissions, I don't think I'd do it at all.
But commissions are good.
No, they're good, but
I know that Mal hated them a while back and was on a real downer against them, but they are good because they give you a focus.
they do, yeah.
And they give you like this. You wouldn't be doing this, would you? If you hadn't
I
got the
think
commission?
one of the things with commissions is I don't think I'd be able to do the terrain tour if I was a full-time commission artist, because I think to be a full-time commission artist, I would have to. I'm not do shortcuts, but the extra time it takes with filming and all that sort of stuff would have to step aside.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do the train shoot stuff. The Patreon and the PayPal and the support of the community allows me to share what I'm doing with my commissions. So, for example, if I spend 3 days doing this, I'll spend a day doing the video work. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's the filming side of it, whether it's the editing and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I think, there's just no way without Patreon I could share this and take other people along on the ride as I did it, which is one. I don't want to become a purely commissioned artist on the basis that I want to be the train tutor.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I started this for. You know.
And Mel and I have had several frank chats about this over the months, and about it is important for him to focus on terrain tutor.
Yeah.
That makes him happy. Sharing, coming from a tutoring background myself and having done that on several different areas of life, it brings you a lot of joy.
It does. It really does.
Passing on information to empower and embetter other people is one of the best things that I think anyone can do.
Yeah.
So
it's incredibly rewarding.
It's so rewarding when you do it. You see people get what you're talking about, and you see people improve, and and that's why the terrainiacs group is such a wonderful place, because you see people who are posting stuff who, when they first posted something, was like a typical polystyrene hill.
Yeah.
Nearly everybody's first terrain project, and it's great, and it's lovely to see everybody's different ways of doing it and their different finished results. And then within 6 months, they're posting things that you're like,
Dwayne Clark.
wow. Yeah, gosh.
I remember his first pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're pieces of art.
Yeah, they're making. I would have thought that Terrainiacs looks at them for advice.
Yeah.
That's the level.
Yeah, I mean, he just picked ponds, and he just stuck with ponds.
And that shows you, and like that can happen with anything.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that pond work that he's doing, that will transfer to other parts of the terrain. So he's not just going to become a pond master.
No, the skills will transfer over
to every other bit of terrain, pretty much. And the same goes with painting miniatures. If you can paint miniatures, you can paint terrain.
Yeah, easy.
Because painting terrain is
a lot easier than painting miniatures.
Far easier than miniatures. Let's go back to the chat.
Go on, see if we've got any questions. My names are slowly disappearing, dude. We're getting there. We're getting there. Right, so that's just about there.
Evening, Kenny Hampson.
Evening, Kenny.
Well, the reason we have a license in England, Surreal, is very complex.
A license?
Yeah, like a TV license.
Oh God, yeah.
It's to support the BBC, and the reason that we pay for the BBC is so that they can be impartial and independent.
Yeah.
That's why we pay for the BBC. ITV can be classed as being biased because they allow adverts. Whatever. But you find that bias isn't always true. If you look at we'll go to politics here, Mel's favourite.
Oh, damn.
If you look at the most recent election we've just had over here in the UK, the BBC's coverage on Jeremy Corbyn was incredibly biased.
It was actually proven, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the
compared to the coverage of the other parties, the stuff that was being put out against almost or not for Jeremy Corbyn, or being sort of the rags, the newspaper rag type press, isn't what we pay our license for. but the government controls it. The government controls that TV license. It comes through the government, nothing to do with the BBC, as it were. They get paid by the government a certain amount of that TV license. I don't think they get the whole money, do they, either?
Do they not?
I don't think the whole amount goes to the BBC. I could be wrong there, but I'm sure.
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I've discovered an interesting issue.
I bet some of it has to be kept back because of your inspector vans and your.
The inspector vans.
That's all that sort of rubbish.
I call shenanigans on that one.
Yeah, it's funny that one is.
Proper shenanigans on that one. Right, so I've dropped these. Is Langerhome a large or a small? It's a small location. I've got a town with no name.
In a place with no name.
No, genuinely, I've got a town with no name on it.
How cool's that?
Doesn't help me when I've got to put a nameplate on it, though,
Do
does
you
it?
know who the man with no name is?
Who?
Apart from obviously being Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
He was called Manco.
Manco?
Manco, M-A-N-C-O. I'm Clint Eastwood buff.
Right.
But his original character in the spaghetti western, The Man with No Name, his actual name was Manco. But they only heard it in one film. Or in a book or something. I can't remember what it was.
You're a fount of knowledge, sir.
Oh, I like my Clint Eastwood films.
Right, so that's a primary location, so that needs a big one. I've got Mordenberg, and that's going to need a big one. And then we've got the town with no name.
Hi, Angry Stag Wargaming. Welcome to the live show.
Hey up, Angry Stag.
Hi, Kerry F. Welcome to the live show. Yeah, that's partly true, Bleentron. I think 40k has had a love-hate relationship within the community for a long time now.
Yeah.
But I love my 40k, but I was very disillusioned with Games Workshop. However, can't say that anymore with the new 8th edition stuff.
You're loving 8th, aren't you?
The game itself's pretty good, but the inclusion of the community aspect from Games Workshop is, I am blown away. I mean, I thought it was good enough what they were doing. With Blood Bowl,
really stepped
I mean,
it
with
up.
the Blood Bowl stuff, I was really pleased to relaunch Blood Bowl. Me and Tom love Blood Bowl. Really pleased with that, and I thought, wow, this is because it's a third-party type of game for them. I thought, oh, this is because they've shipped that part out now. This is obviously just a standalone thing.
Yeah.
But now it's come to 40k, and it's the same, if not better.
They've really gone all out community.
Big style for community, and I absolutely love it. I've sent about 5 questions on their Facebook page. Every single one has been answered.
They won't reply to my emails.
But every single one has been answered. Not just like we'll find out in the future.
But a proper answer.
But proper answer. Yeah, we've got stuff coming up later in the year, probably August, September time. We can't say exactly what it is. That sort of, if they don't know then, but they're giving you information.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't get any of that before. Before Christmas, before Blood Bowl, in fact, you had got no information from GW. So, although I know there's still a lot of hate out there for them, I'm starting to warm to them again to how they used to be and how Mantic is.
Yeah.
So Mantic really brought me on board when they first launched. Ronnie was just such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, well,
and
Mantic was everything GW wasn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was talking, he wasn't being...
It used to be a little bit like that. GW used to be. It had Conclusion. It had the games days at the NEC were fabulous. We're only talking like in 2010, 12. They were fabulous. All the tables from the stores, the participation games.
That was it, wasn't it?
The free competitions that you could build a piece of scenery, paint a figure, do your own conversion, and you'd enter into a competition. Yeah, the queues for products are always the same whatever you do.
Whatever show you go to.
But the stuff they had, I mean, the year that I went with Tom, I took Tom to it, he just loved it. He had a game of Lord of the Rings at the Black Gate, and it was a proper, impressive Black Gate. He had a game of 40k on a huge tilting spaceship that must have been about 8 feet long and about 4 feet tall.
You don't get that anymore.
But no, but I think they've talked about they're trying to re-encourage that. But that's the sort of GW I want.
That's our GW.
Exactly.
You know, we're talking about from our youth, what we remember before it became the corporate mega structure that it became. You know, and now look, it's looking like they're heading back that way.
Well, the shops used to be inclusive, but the last 5 to 7, maybe 10 years, they've been exclusive.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you go into a GW store, and I remember when I used to go into them, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're right. You know, what do you play, or are you interested in starting up? Yeah. What are you thinking about?" And they give you advice. They wouldn't push you with sales.
Yeah.
They'd say, "Oh, well, come along to our learning sessions. You don't need to buy anything or bring anything. Just come on. We've got models here. You can see how it's played. You can learn a bit. And if you want to walk away with something in the end, you're welcome to do so." Now, you walk in there and it's straight away, "Oh, what armies to collect? Tyranids. Have you seen this model? Have you got this model? Have you seen this model?" Nothing about the game.
Yeah.
It was all about the sales. And you couldn't take a miniature in there that wasn't painted. And what's that about? Who has all their army painted?
I do.
You do now. But how big is your army compared to like your Imperial Guard?
Oh God, don't even go there,
like
man.
A proper 40k army is massive. So, but I'm really pleased with the way that they're heading. Got to say.
Yeah, it's definitely bodes well for the future.
It's only a positive thing at the moment. Yeah, the prices are expensive, but
what isn't?
The best.
But then again, I mean, at the end of the day, the industry has matched their pricing. So it's industry pricing.
That's it. The stuff that used to be cheaper, you see, is now starting to creep up.
Yeah.
To be the same or similar price as they grow. Mantic, as they've grown, they've had to increase prices slightly.
Yeah.
That happens with everybody. The bigger you get, you've got to find the money somewhere to expand.
Exactly.
And if your stuff's selling, you've got that customer base.
Thickness there, drop down there. That joins there, so that would be about there. Trying to work out where the unnamed town is. I think I'm going to call this Melville.
Norman Melville.
Well, they've forgotten to name one of their towns. There's no name for it on the map. I don't know what it is. So, what can you do? Mordenberg at the bottom of this bit here.
Hi, Keely Morgan. Hi, James Ann.
Hi, Keely.
James Ann, welcome to the live show as well.
Yeah, hi, James. Welcome to the hot and sweaty show, Mel's sweatshop.
It's a bit warm.
It's getting warmer again, isn't it?
Yeah, I can feel it. Even with the door open, it's getting warmer.
Drop that back down into there.
Hi, Igor. Welcome to the live show.
That's a cool name.
Igor Ogorek. I hope I pronounced that right. It's got an accented O.
Well, to be truthful, you know you're going to pronounce it better than I would have. Because we all know what my pronunciations look. Exactly.
The fact that Tamsin was Tasman for however many live shows.
Oh, God, yeah. That took me ages. But she's very forgiving as our Tam. What are you giggling at?
No, I'm coughing.
Okay.
Well, that's great, Athol Wolf Lord McNichol. I'm glad that you've got a GW store that you can engage with. Aberdeen shop, good on you. I haven't been into the Stoke one for
I haven't in ages.
A while now because we just didn't enjoy going.
To be truthful, my last time we went into the Stoke store, I think was going to be the very last time I could walk in there. Yeah, because I took Corbin in with me. Yeah, and the guy came up and asked him what army he plays, and Corbin said Japs. And so it was one of those, alrighty then, quiet walk.
I'll tell you one of the things that really cheesed me off there, I would have left straight away and never gone back.
Go on.
Is when Tom was in the Beginners Academy.
Right.
and Tom was learning at the same time as Phil Stukakis, who I don't know if you know who he is. He's one of the main guys at Forge World.
Oh right,
Because he lives local.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's not too far away. And he came there with his son, and he'd obviously got all the Forge World sculpts.
Yeah, of
He was
course.
playing with because he sculpts them.
Yeah.
And another guy who was really cool, and his son, and it was just like almost a lads and dads type thing. And there were just three of us, and this one guy got his Marines painted up in this sort of tiger pattern, and it looked really cool. It was epic. And some guy had come in with his other son and was just asking, they started and they were, what's the best way to paint them all one colour in the start? And so I said, well, I found personally the Army Painter sprays are pretty good. And Phil was like, yeah, they are. I use them. But did he say that? No, he said, yeah, they are. And this other guy said, yeah, that's what I've done with these. They had a base coat of because GW only did black and white.
Yeah, they didn't do colour primers.
Didn't do colour primers back then. And the member of staff come over to him and he said, shh. I said, well, we don't talk about other companies' products. I said, what, even when you don't do a comparable product? And then he just walked off. That cheesed me off.
Yeah.
I thought, if you don't want me to advertising comparable products from other companies, make a comparable product.
I think it's a bit. I mean, if you're going in and sort of,
if I'm holding a banner up, but if a guy asks for advice who's new to the hobby with his son, I'm going to tell him what I know.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, if it is, the solution of getting, all one colour, yeah, go for this product.
Yeah, go for a spray can.
I mean, if he wanted them all black.
Well, I think I can't remember exactly, but he wanted ultramarines, so he wanted the blue. And I'd done commission painting for the ultramarines, and so I knew that the spray, whatever the blue spray was, I can't remember.
I think it's ultramarine blue, isn't it?
It might be, yeah.
No, crystal blue. It's a really nice blue, to be truthful. It is a nice blue.
That, and I knew that was a great base coat. I knew it was a really good starting point. As did the other guy's name, I forget now. But, hey.
We live and learn.
They just cheese me off a bit.
At the end of the day,
helping people, and if you help that person to get into the hobby more and get a better result, they'll spend more money at your shop.
Well, that's what you call it. I mean, that's Mart's policy up at Wargames up at Southport. He invests tons in developing the hobby, and it pays off. He's got a busy shop. But I mean, it's a bit of a no-brainer for me, because it's like, if you've got a shop or a business that's based around a hobby, surely, engaging people and getting people into the hobby, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of shops that you go to that are wargaming shops, and they look at you as though you fell off something.
Yeah.
And not engaging at all. Luckily, there are a few out there that are still
decent.
Yeah, we want you in the hobby, not just buying our products, because if you get hooked on the hobby, you'll buy the products without even thinking about it.
Well, the thing is, I mean,
which is what Matic did.
Yeah.
Try and engage people into the hobby. He was all excitable, and he still is. Bless him, our Ronnie, and it's enthusing. It's contagious.
Ronnie does that really well, to be truthful.
He does. It's contagious. He's funny. He's naturally. It's like you as a natural entertainer.
Yeah, I think that's the Bard model said it all for me.
Yeah.
Ronnie is the entertainer.
Yeah.
You're always going to have a good laugh. Have you ever got getting drunk with Ronnie is an experience, a real experience. There's a photo that appears every so often when they have a Kickstarter and they talk about celebrating it. It's a photo from Ronnie in his younger days in GW, and he's basically passed out on a floor, surrounded by beer cans. Whenever anyone talks about, we're going to party, it's like, we're going to party hard, Ronnie. You're going to party this hard, Ronnie.
Yeah, Eddie, you're saying that the atmosphere in your local GW has changed wildly since the CEO has changed. I think we're finding that just across the board.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
My statement about GW stores is going back over previous years now, maybe as long as 4 or 5, maybe longer. Years ago. I think it's changed. The atmosphere has changed about GW.
I think one of the key things to sort of factor in, is to remember that the staff who run the store are hobbyists.
Yeah.
You know, the boots on the ground. So they're going to reflect to the changes in GW as well. And that, you know, I mean, if I work for a company, it's my hobby. This company is telling me, I don't care about the hobby. I care about sales figures. I care about this. Yeah, then that's going to disillusion me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if the company's policy says we bloody love the hobby, we're going all hobby now, and I'm a hobbyist working for the company, it becomes the dream job again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, you've still got sales targets, you know, it's no different than me having deadlines. But the core work is still enjoyable.
Well, I don't understand how they lost their way. It's like Ronnie's done with Mantic. They've infused the public, the wargaming public, brought them into their world.
Yeah.
And then by that, they've just sold shed loads of whatever they do. You know, anything they touch almost turns to gold.
Well, it's Ronnie's golden coat, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's because he's so enthusiastic about the product. And he talks to you like he wants to be your friend, not just your business.
Yeah. I've got a lot of time for Ronnie.
He seems like a really nice chap. He's a true entertainer. He's very funny. But they don't take themselves too seriously, which I don't think any wargaming company should.
Come on, we're wargamers. No one should take us seriously.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we play with toy soldiers. So being all anal and serious just does not work.
No, it does not.
You only get that at tournaments. No, I'm not dissing tournament players.
He is. He is.
I just hate them. Win at all costs.
Oh, he's off.
No,
Right.
if that's what floats your boat, fine.
I'm not a fan of win at all costs.
I don't do it. I don't play win at all costs. I enjoy winning, but I enjoy playing more than I do winning.
Yeah. I'd rather have a good game that I lose, but it's been a good game.
Yeah, I feel guilty if my army has won so easy or too well, like in the last editions where armies that I've been playing from when I was first in the game, like Eldar or something like that, become so powerful that it's embarrassing. Because you don't. In fact, I stopped playing my Eldar because it wasn't fun seeing other players lose every time so easily.
Yeah, yeah, I
Where's
know.
the fun in just beating a teenager with his army that he spent hours painting and he loves, and he's playing them because he loves them.
Yeah.
And although I loved my Eldar, they were just too powerful and it's ridiculous. Yeah. And it wasn't fun because the games weren't then fun. He knew that if he was playing me, chances are he just couldn't beat the shooting that Eldar's got. So yeah. Tau and Necrons and all that. It just became. I ended up playing Dark Angels again.
It's almost a social contract.
Yeah.
You know, an informal one that I'm not going to be a dick. You know what I mean? I'm not going to.
Yeah, I don't like games like Monopoly.
We don't play that in our house.
Exactly.
We can't.
Thomas loves it, but I don't like games that are like Monopoly, and the old GW, the 7th edition and 6th probably, were like Monopoly. That whoever got the best property, if you like, the best models, would always win, almost without fail. And as soon as they got those things on the table, or those things had got in position, you forget about it. There was no tactics. You didn't need tactics. Just stand
it was just a land grab.
Stand back at the board, 48 inches on everything, and just shoot.
Ah,
it's not fun.
That was the guard leaf blower, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Was that Bowls? By the Lost Souls who brought that in, one of their guys.
Yeah.
And they pretty much trashed the tournament scene with it. If you got, first turn, you alpha striked them into oblivion. Let's put in Langerberg. Right, coming up on 10 o'clock now, so we'll be winding up in the next half hour, I reckon.
Lucas Allen says, hi Mel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. We're getting there. Maybe not as far as I'd have liked to have got, but a lot further than I thought we would have got. Transcarpoth. Wonder what that is. I've had to email Adam at Foreground and ask him, what is this place? I have no name tag for this place. And if he doesn't get back to me, it's going to become Melville. So edge this one out. We'll switch it on first. Might help. We're actually on schedule with what I was hoping to get done, which is quite cool. I wasn't expecting that. But it is coming together very nicely.
It looks nice from here.
Looks nice from here. Recessing the nameplates was a smart idea.
Yeah.
It's just completely changed the look of the board.
If you look at where they have to be like they are in the sea,
Yeah.
and then you compare it to how you've got them on the land, which you can recess them with, the recess is
Much better. I mean, I've got gaps to fill.
Detail that makes the difference.
Yeah, I've got gaps to fill, but it shouldn't be a problem. Right, while that warms up.
Ronald Grover, the signs and city markers are MDF laser cut, or laser cut MDF, whichever way you want to say it.
Right, so I've got a couple of islands up here I need to do.
Yeah, Jez, that's right. The amount of shops that I know that I've gone in and not bought anything from the shop and just asked their advice. And because they've given me that advice, the next time I need anything to do with that, that's where I go to buy it.
Yeah.
Even if it's more expensive than going to a bigger retailer, if I've gone to the local hardware store and said, what do you think about this project, or what am I doing with this? And they tell me some advice, not expecting me to buy anything, that's where I'm going to give my customer the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's a no-brainer though, isn't it?
It's just, it vanishes though, doesn't it? Because everyone becomes, all the big stores do everything, don't they now? And it's all online. And that little guy in his hardware store, he's got a box of nails with all different sorts of nails in for a penny a nail.
He disappears. And then the one time when you need that one nail,
he's got it. But then the problem is they'll be closing down because everybody goes online. But hey, rant over.
It's a valid rant, mate, to be truthful.
It's a shame because we're all victims. We're all not victims. We're all perpetrators of it.
Yeah.
It's easy to go to Tesco's and buy your meat and your cheese and your veg
Than the
than the greengrocer or the butcher or the baker that's on the high street. Even though they tend to do better stuff and you get more for your money.
It's the death of the high street, and when it's gone, we'll miss it.
Yeah.
We'll miss it big time.
So it was all the fun, wasn't it, doing your internet shopping?
Oh God, yeah.
For all your supermarkets, but
Let's be honest, yeah. You get your internet shopping, yeah. It's easier, but
the amount of substitutions you get.
Yeah.
The classic one we had a couple of years ago was my father-in-law ordered the Christmas shopping.
Yeah. Oh God,
ordered.
No.
Yeah, and he'd ordered some carrots.
Yeah.
And how he'd ordered it, instead of ordering it by weight,
right,
which he thought he'd done, he thought he'd ordered a kilo of carrots.
He'd ordered one.
He'd ordered one carrot. So there was a panic on. I think it was Christmas Eve to get the carrots. That sums it up, really.
What always got me with like the internet shopping with the supermarkets is you would always get out of date stuff. Or stuff that was going out of date.
Practically that day or the next day.
Yeah, and it's like, when you go shopping, you know, you reach to the back, you get the stuff with a decent date on, you know, because it's got to last you. And then when you let someone shop for you, you get the stuff that they want to get rid of.
Yes, Cyril, when you're winding someone up, that's trying to get them mad or cheese them off or just taking what's called taking the mickey out of them, teasing them. But when you're winding something up, it means it's like a show or a presentation or
wrapping it up. Yeah,
it's like wrapping
a finale.
You're coming towards the end.
More colloquialisms.
Oh, Malstown, there you go. We've got what you should call it.
Melstown.
No, Dragmalandia.
Dragmalandia.
Yeah. Hashtag Dragmalandia.
Well, I'm telling you, if he doesn't come back by tomorrow with a name, I've got a spare tag. I can do it.
Hi, Brett McCaster. Says hello, Mel.
Hello, buddy. Welcome to the live stream.
The Insane Commander says, when is the next video coming?
Next video is either going to be out on Saturday or Sunday. It really depends tomorrow how far I get with finishing the board. If I can, jobs remaining is mainly the mountains. Pretty much everything else is done. Okay, virtually all the named places are in. There's next to nothing to do on any of this. It's just this mountain area and this what you call it, the Arcurian tribes. Once they're done, yeah, I just need to give it a coating, and my hope is I can get that all done tomorrow and the video edited in time to have it up on Saturday. If not, you will see it Sunday, okay? Or it'll be out on Saturday and I'll leave the final sealing stage to Monday. Yeah. Unfortunately, that power cut today threw me off. You know, I just wasn't expecting it. It's thrown me back a bit. And I'm just playing catch up, so we'll just have to see how we do, guys. I mean, it will get done. And like I say, the kids are actually at my mum's for for a couple of days over the weekend. So I can actually get into the studio and do more work on it. So it will get done. It's just getting it done, as they say. So yeah, videos coming out. You'll have one for the weekend, guys, for sure. Just Sunday at the latest, and it'll be a good hour one, I imagine.
Good night, Insane Commander. Take care of yourself, mate.
Look after yourself, bud.
Bleentron, that character's not worth panicking over. You've not met my mother-in-law. That's all I will say. Why do you think Mal goes to his local B&Q apart from the burger van outside?
Someone's local. That's a bloody good burger van, you know.
I've had burgers and breakfast there.
Yeah.
I had bacon butty and it was nice.
I keep lifting my arm up and thinking one of the name tags is stuck to it.
Stuck to it.
I keep having to check whether I've lifted something.
Right, make sure I get these places.
What's that, Oscar Osland? What is it going to be about? What's that, mate? What's your question? British slang is probably the best slang in the world.
Yeah, we've had a long time
a long time perfecting it because we are an incredibly, I would call quite possibly the most sarcastic nation on the planet.
Oh god, yeah. Not just that, you've got to remember we've got regional slang.
Yeah, you've got parochial slang as well, and it's just,
We do slang well.
yeah. There's even the whole language, which is your Cockney rhyming slang, and that's just the East End of London. Never mind the rest of London. Never mind the rest of the country. Never mind Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland.
We do like our slang.
That's for sure. Right, there's Hammers Mary there.
No one understands Aussie slang, according to Andrew Fishman. It's because nobody understands Aussies, mate.
Oh, you're trying to lose me subscribers, dude.
Good night. I thought I hope the painkillers kick in.
Look after yourself, bud. Is that McNichol?
Yeah. Oh, that'll be why there's no Burger King, no Burger Van Tamsin. There'll be a burger monopoly if there's a Burger King 50 yards away.
Oh god, yeah. They won't be having that.
There won't be a license issued for that.
Competitive business.
I do find that a lot, actually, Andrew. You've got rhyming slang to hit the frog and toad, but that's most, isn't that most Australian slang is about animals?
You really know how to win friends, don't you?
Just saying.
Just saying. I'll just, you know what? This live show, I'll just spend it insulting an entire continent.
Hey, why not?
Do you realise Australians are my third biggest subscriber group?
That's because Australians are the third biggest war games. That's why you've got GW Australia. I feel like I've not being too overly sympathetic to our Australian enemies, friends,
Go on.
brothers, but the prices that GW charges them.
Oh.
I mean, I used to have a business or a side business selling
GW models to Australia.
I used to get them from like one of the online discounters that would do 25% discount. Get them shipped to me, then I'd ship them out to Australia, and I'd still undercut the Australian budget cutting stores by about 20%. And I'd still make money on that.
Crazy, isn't it?
It just unfortunately became GW then went through a period of when they were so slow getting products to the online retailers
that you couldn't.
That it'd take me 2 weeks to get a product from an online retailer.
Well, that's when they tried to kill online retail.
Well, that's
wasn't
it. And if you order from GW, you get it within a day or two. You order it from another online company, and they couldn't afford to keep the stock, so they could keep the prices low. But then you'd order it; they only order once a week.
Yeah.
Then by the time they've got it in at the end of the week, you've then got to post it out to you, so you might not get it till the end.
Do you notice how whenever you check their websites, it was always in stock?
Yes.
And then you find out when you actually order it,
it's not.
Yeah.
So I give that up in the end because I just felt I couldn't do it because it was taking so long to get to people, and I was uncomfortable with the service that was being provided. It's a shame, really, because we get things a lot cheaper than our Aussie friends when it comes to GW.
Yeah, I've done that right. That's okay.
It was your third biggest after this, probably.
It was, yeah. I don't know what my fourth biggest is, to be perfectly honest.
Probably a European country.
I have no idea. Right, so we've done all of those. We've done Sea Baba as well, haven't we? Yeah.
Here's Mel Big down under.
Yeah, calm down, young man.
Jazz, naughty boy.
Yes, I am. You know what they say? Can't blow your own trumpet, no one else will blow it for you.
Ian Norville. I love that name. Mr. Norville Rogers, greetings all. Progress looking good, Mel.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Right, what have we got left? Name-wise. He's put all sorts of stuff on here. Yeah. And it's not on the map. He's got river names on here. Except the rivers aren't named on the map, so I don't know what bloody rivers they are.
Oh, controversial. Austin says German beer is the best beer. Depends what you're after, mate.
If you want a hangover, I'd stick with British beer.
Yeah, you can't beat some nice bitters or some of the
microbrews are nice.
Yeah, the detergent laced.
Oh, you had to go there, didn't you?
Detergent laced lagers.
So that's it.
I like Belgian beer.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat Belgian beer, to be honest. As Tamsin's just said as well.
Oh, we've got 3 Tudor forests.
In fact, when I used to live in a house with, we used to share a house with two mates when I was university time. We used to drink nothing but imported beer, dodgy imported beer. It was called ESP, and I think it was the biggest selling beer in the UK, but you couldn't buy it in a shop.
Yeah, Jace was studying medicine, but I ended up working in IT. Now you know why.
And his dad used to do booze cruises across there and bring it back, and we used to have loads of stuff in the miniature twist top bottles. Wonderful stuff. That got me onto Belgian beer originally. I think it was something like 20 pence a bottle of that. It was ridiculously cheap.
I can't extend that over that, unfortunately. At the moment, you've got 3 forests and not enough forest to put 3 forests in. First world problems. So that one could go there. Put that one to there, which would sort of work with that. And then
Yeah, I like a drop of lager. I think my favourite actually isn't a Belgian one, although I do like my Stella. Is Peroni. Peroni. I like that. But I'm an ale man. I like my bitters. Pint of bitter.
Pint of bitter.
Not like my dad used to have. Pint of mild. Never got that drink.
You never went that far.
No, but I like a bitter. I like a Boddington's. Something like that. Although to my own shame, quite like a Wicked as well.
There's something a bit cheeky about a Wicked, though, isn't there?
Blue, yeah. Something about
It's a hot day drink, I think.
Yeah, I could do one now. In fact, I've got a big bottle in the fridge.
There you go. T-15 till Jace's rat ass.
2 for £5.
Hey, super saver deal.
Yeah.
Right, I need to swap out my tool. Right, I need to find the pen.
Hi, Piston mate. Piston Privateer in. Hi everyone, can't stay long, just wanted to say hi.
Hey, Piston, how you doing, bud? Yeah, that's okay, because that'll come down from there.
What's your favourite tipple, Mel?
Vodka.
A little bit of vodka. I
Yeah.
like chocolate. I like chocolate vodka.
Either vodka or port.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's an army thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Port is very much, it's a drink I'll only drink with army friends.
I don't drink red wine anymore for many reasons.
It's
I like a Chateauneuf de Pape at Christmas.
Yeah?
Where Tesco's got it on offer though. I like a bit of Chateauneuf de Pape. But I can't touch most other stuff.
You sound just like Del Boy. Roddy, a bit of Chateauneuf de Pape.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Oh, I don't do whiskey. Heartburn.
No, I'm not a whiskey drinker, to be truthful.
Kills
Like I
me.
say, I like a vodka. Yeah. And yeah, vodka's mainly my drug of choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the Wicked. I used to love vodka. I used to do screwdrivers. Mental. Until I was very, very ill.
So you had that moment.
2 to 3 days ill.
Yeah, but everyone who does vodka...
As an 18-year-old as well, so you know you're ill then, don't you?
Yeah. If you get alcohol poisoning when you're 18, that's pretty much enough to put you off a drink.
It did.
Completely.
I can't drink pure orange juice.
Can you not?
No. The smell of it makes me feel sick to this day. I'm not giving my age away, but it was over 20 years ago. I told you my age anyway. How's the temp in the studio today, Mel? Hiya, Tanya. I'll give you a clue.
We're sweating.
It's called Mel's Hot Sweaty Body Studio tonight. Even the little Filipino children underneath the table looking like they're flagging.
Will you shut up about the Filipino children? People are going to start believing you.
It's the one part of the studio I didn't show them.
You're a kid at
Not legally obliged to do so.
You're going to get me in trouble with bloody Akaba.
Do I need an acrylic primer for acrylic paints? Or can I get away with using a varnish, Jason?
A matte varnish, yes.
Yeah,
A gloss
not
varnish,
a gloss
no.
varnish. You can use a gloss varnish. You can use if you're going to do some nice weathering.
Yeah. What do you call it?
But you'll need a rusty colour underneath it, or a metally colour underneath the gloss varnish, because then you can just peel off or rub off some of the paint on top of the gloss varnish and give you that look. But most people use hair lacquer, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm guessing he's not got primer.
No, I think if you're talking about primer, go to a car shop and get whatever primer they've got there.
Yeah, automotive.
Automotive primers are the best. They're better than any primer that's on the market because they are designed for wear and for the finish that you expect on a car.
Exactly.
Which is better than any model.
You've got to remember that all our paints and our products are nicked from elsewhere.
Yeah.
And quite often elsewhere, I mean, it's like all the GW technical paints.
It's like you said in the last live show, that guy who's like Golden Demon, beyond Golden Demon almost, and he paints with house paints.
Yeah.
Because they're better quality, that's why you pay what you pay for those house paints.
Well, that's it, isn't
a
it?
fraction of the price compared to what you pay for GW paints or even Army Painter or any of them.
Yeah.
You think the size of a bottle of Army Painter paint and a tin of Dulux. Yeah, they're the same, if not better paints from the house paint. But it's not as easy to dip your paintbrush in a 4-litre tin of white emulsion.
You say that, you'd be surprised.
If you're doing terrainiacs, painting miniatures is a bit trickier.
You want to see my chindits? I ain't joking.
I have. I've just been looking at them when we did the studio. Unfortunately, the wire didn't reach all the way, but we got an idea.
Yeah, I need to bring more models down now I've got the display cabinet in. Get more toys in here, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, Vodka's responsible for a lot of people's downfall. CJ Kilbride.
Yeah. I hear you, CJ. Brother from another mother.
Piston Privateer has a question for you. How hard have you found the coastal areas being to sand to shape so far?
Pretty easy.
Well, I didn't sand them initially.
No, I beveled them with a hot knife, didn't I?
Yeah, hot wire cutter.
Okay, I etched them out, then we cut them on a scroll table, hot wire scroll table. Then I used the hot wire cutter to take the bulk of it down. I've done a light sanding, but a bit of
knife work as well.
Yeah. To be truthful, the majority of the actual shaping of the bevel of the the coastline has been done with my thumb.
Yeah, pushing it in.
Pushing it in to get that bevel in, and it's worked fine. But that's the good thing about using extruded foam. You know, you can.
It's very forgiving, and there are so many techniques you can use on it to shape it and mould it
and texture it.
And even in fact, with Mel having said that, I mean, it might lose the texture when it comes to paint it and coat it. But thumbprint's fantastic for coastline.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a beautiful landscape here. I mean, mainly, I've been doing most of my thumb work where I know it's going to be visible. Where I know I've got mostly woodland, I haven't bothered because it's going to get covered up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll lose it. Okay, but in the case of in the case of all the grassy fells and all that sort of stuff, thumb in. Get your thumb in, work it in. Yeah, the results are well worth it. There we go. Push that down.
Terrain tutor, can you not get a window AC unit? No, because he's boarded the window.
Yeah. Being a genius that I am, I thought I'll board my window up and that way I'll be able to control the light for the white balance. You stupid boy. Mel is not a smart man at times. We've got these ridings and that sort of stuff. Aegean Sea, Arcurian tribes, mountains.
Coconut Heed says, well done on the tinfoil mountains. I will have to borrow that technique.
Borrow away, mate. That's what I put it up for. We've only got a few more. Well, I'll load of these like.
What did you paint the chindits? What paint did you use to paint your chindits, Mel?
I used Badger Militaire, and I wouldn't recommend them.
Why not?
Because
I've not used those, to be honest. So.
Because one, they're supposed to be an airbrush paint, yeah, but they're too thin as a brush paint and too thick as an airbrush paint.
Oh.
So you've got to do work either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. On top of that, I painted them green. Yeah. I decided, obviously, I'm doing quite a few of them. I'll get some more greens. Yeah. I ordered the same green. It came a completely different shade. I reached out and it turns out it's sort of commonality, and if you want to be sure of colour matching, buy your paints at the same time. And at that point it was like,
yeah, on your way then.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, for me colour matching has got to, because with how long it takes me to paint.
For a miniature painting, if your colours aren't the same every time you buy that product, there's something wrong. Yeah,
and it was a case of, it was a significant change. You know what I mean? Not even just a slight one.
Yeah,
It
like
was
2 or 3 grades.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
2 or 3
To the
grades,
extent that part of me questioned whether it was a mislabel and it was actually a lighter green.
Yeah, they sent you the wrong box.
Yeah, and it wasn't. But I reached out to a few people and they said, well, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, Badger make airbrushes.
Yeah,
They're not
not
particularly a paint company.
My favourite.
I mean, I don't want to diss Badger too much because I like the Badger airbrushes.
Yeah, but it's just not the paints.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But what can you do?
I think Vallejo Air is the best that I've come
Never
across.
used it.
I like it. It's beautiful to paint with the brush. Lovely, especially their metallics. Beautiful to paint with the brush, and it works really well on an airbrush. You don't really have to do anything. I have Vallejo to everything I put in an airbrush anyway, but it's wonderful.
I mean, this is the Badger Militaire stuff, Jace. In fact,
P3 bottles. Effectively, aren't they? Yeah, I'm sure we get on camera.
There you go. Can you see a difference in shade there?
Massive difference in shade. See in the bottle. Never mind looking at that.
Yeah, but they are exactly the same sewage water. And it wasn't just that. I got it with another colour as well, which I think is this one. Yeah. But these.
Oh, that's a huge difference. They're different colours, aren't they?
Well, no, they're not. They're both the same one.
They're not though.
Yeah, no.
They're not. Mel, they're not.
You know
We
what?
can see that.
But unfortunately, I only discovered this after I got halfway. You know, and so I stick with Army Painter. Yeah.
I was saying to the guys when I did the tour of the studio that you really like them because they colour match with the sprays.
From a terrain point of view, Army Painter work because, if you want to spray an MDF building, you spray the building. Great, spray it with a primer, colour primer. But when you will always miss bits, and you can go back in with the spray, but you know you're going to overspray then. Yeah, having the ability to go to a paint that you can either brush on or airbrush on that is colour matched to the primer to just catch those little bits, you know, where you haven't been it. It's a lifesaver. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, they're good paints, but at the same time, lots of manufacturers make good paints.
I love the Armour Painter sprays. I've been a big. My first one, the blue that I bought. The first time I bought it, I bought 2 actually. I bought the blue and the Dark Angels green. I don't think they call it Dark Angels green. They call it Angel green.
Yeah.
But those 2, using those, were wonderful. They're fabulous, fabulous sprays. The only one I've not liked that much was the Bone.
Well, the guy who runs Army Painter,
The Bone.
he's ex-heavy metal. He used to work in the studio, and then he left GW to set up Army Painter. But he left it with his mate, Bo. And Bo handled European sales. Smart move, eh? I got drunk with him at Beast of War.
Beast of War, yeah.
Bo brought in these like liqueur vodka shots. It was like chili. It's like these chili sweets soaked in vodka. Yeah, I had 6 on the first day and staggered out. Yeah. Remember, Mel doesn't really drink. So 6 vodkas in an hour.
Vodka's is nasty because it's so easy to change the flavour.
To make it so tasty.
That's why chocolate vodkas are the most dangerous thing on the planet. Rolo chocolate vodka.
It's a killer.
I could eat that. Right.
I think I've reached as far as I want to go tonight. What do you reckon, Jace? Is it coming together?
Shall we have a look on the cam? It's not letting me have the chat back up anyway.
Oh, don't stress about it. We're winding up.
We'll have a look at the board. It's looking nice. The recess signs are lovely.
They have worked out, haven't they? I still don't know what that unnamed location is. It's not got a name on the map. Unless it's called East Ridings. But no, East Ridings is the area. I have no idea.
You have to message him.
I've sent him an email with a photo saying, what's this place called? Seriously, got to think of doing. Right, put us on the main screen, dude.
Have you checked your phone?
I have. I haven't had any notifications recently. Right. Just let me double check before we can out, just because we don't want to miss anyone.
Still not come up.
No, I'm not seeing any more notifications, mate.
Oh, there we are. It's back again.
Just in time. Yeah. Well, I'd like to give a massive thank you to my mate Jace here. Yeah, you've been a star tonight. Yeah, he's been ripping it. It's been quite enjoyable to be true. It's been a good laugh tonight. We've been referred to as the two grumpy old men on the balcony in Muppets.
Oh, Waldorf and Statler.
Is that what?
I think so. I like them. Two of my favourite characters.
Mine too. I think they've got us nailed, mate. I think they've got us nailed. Right, battle plan video wise, yeah, you will get a video this weekend, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. That all depends tomorrow. Okay, moving forward, we'll have the live show Sunday night as usual, and then I can see next week being a little bit of a drought video wise with another one at the weekend, guys, just as I wrap this project up. But we will have another Thursday show. I don't know if Jason will be present. It's down to him watching what his life's got on and that sort of stuff. But I will be here in the studio on Thursday. Okay, fingers crossed by Thursday I should only be, touching a few little bits up, and I'll, if you come back and it hasn't got any paint on it on Thursday, yeah, it's hit the fan, guys. It's really hit the fan. In the meantime, listen, guys, I know you've been talking to me via Jace, yeah, but thanks for keeping me company, yeah, and Jace, thanks for keeping me company and dealing with this bunch of rabble.
Good chat, guys. Sorry we're a bit slow keeping up, but
yeah, we're learning. We're figuring it out, man. We're figuring it out.
Chat. Right. Hope you've enjoyed the chats.
In the meantime, yeah, we're going to love you and leave you. Yeah, and we're going to call it a night. Night, folks. Right, to can it off, I've got to show Jace how to can it off. Where's the bloody mouse? Outputs. Come on. And we're... Go on, get.
And we're still here.
We're still here. Hello. Bye.
Bye.
Go. It's not switching.
No, we're still here.
No, we're still live, dude. We're still live.
Still here.
Yeah.